That's Mariah Carey. Oh my gosh. Um, Merry Christmas, guys. How you guys doing today? Or
Mally Pasco Pollywog.
it's pretty accurate, yeah.
Pretty, and I'm gonna
Maligayang Pasko
yeah, I'm
sa inyong
going.
lahat. To you all. Merry Christmas to you all.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna explain how
Yeah.
Christmas worked since last night.
Yeah, speaking of, before Heidi explains how Christmas works, we would love to again thank you so much again for
where I got
being with us, and Merry Christmas to all of you. Also, it's very special thanks to again Ted for saying us a very special balikbayan box. Also, Sarah for sending us advanced Christmas gifts as well. Thank you,
And
Victoria.
the other support. We've had
Mhm.
lots of support for the holiday. It's been really great, really excited. So
Yeah, thank you so much, guys, and thank you for the coffee.
Thank you so much, guys. Also, we have a few gifts that we had got the dogs and the cats. We've already given them some. There's some cute items. And George still has 2 mystery gifts this morning. And I'm going to break down how Christmas really works around here. I tried to get George to say the traditional way, but I'm actually going to talk about the traditional way. Would you like the story about up on the rooftop? Click, click, click. More steroids, quick, quick, quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this is how Christmas works in this town. Okay. How many days ago? 90 days ago? 120 days ago?
July.
Well, yeah, technically in July, but the Burr months, 4 months, 120 days. All right, either way. 395 days ago, this party got kicking and never stopped. But basically, everybody and their brother running around, streets are bustling and fun and lights and everything else. Karaoke party started about 3-4 days ago and hasn't stopped. It's been day and night, lots of fun until somebody broke out like a virgin and took me back to 1983, and I'm just getting into it. Dun, 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 dun. And then all of a sudden, somebody's kid comes on and says, "Dad, Dad,"
on the mic.
Dad. And you just hear it. The whole neighborhood is just like echoing. Yeah. It's weird. And on a karaoke machine here, it sounds really weird. It's like they had the vibe button on or something. And I was like wafting and stuff. I was like, oh man, he killed the song. And the girl was really getting into it. I could hear her. And so, and then somewhere around cooking the shredded barbecue beef and the mashed potatoes and getting some food going, we got our Japanese kamori cake instead of George buying me a new oven because he's cheap. Which every time I get one of those cakes, I feel like I'm gypped. So basically, it is a $20 cake. It's the one we got for our birthday. It's really yummy and really rich. So
what about the vacuum cleaner I got you?
That was a vacuum cleaner you got for yourself that required oil. What are you talking about? Right? So
no, but in all seriousness, guys, don't give your lady a vacuum cleaner for Christmas. You many crickets. What's wrong with you? But anyway, go ahead.
Okay. So where was I at? The song, the karaoke.
Yeah, the dad, the vacuum cleaner.
Okay, so anyways, so the holiday goes on and on and on. I was cooking. We got the cake. The cake was, we haven't even, you'll have to show that later. Oh, be quiet. Shh. The kids have already been here starting early AM. The little presidential guy up the street or whatever he is, some sort of official.
Oh, that's what it is.
This is the Heidi version. Yeah. He opens up the gates and literally there's like 50, 60 people. We had a video, I think, went to members only from last year.
Again, we live right next door to a big high official, and almost every day there's somebody asking for a handout, but on Christmas it's extra.
No, there's a lot of people. So it's nice. He puts out a full spread. Last year we exchanged food. Let me tell you what, this year I am not taking that shredded barbecue pork down there to him because he's probably just going to give it away. He said that white woman did something to that, so I'm just going to skip that. Say, yeah, it's called real barbecue.
It's probably got gayuma.
Is that have anything to do with that thrush stuff of the TikTokers that are using their natural perfumes down there as perfume now? And they're giving away yeast infections all day long.
There you go. Gayuma, by the way, guys, it's love potion number 9.
Okay, well, basically. And um, so then all of that, and we did some board games. We watched a movie, which George will give the review for the movie. And we could sum that up. Don't start. Don't start. It's a new Jack Black movie, so we're going to ruin it for you. So if you don't like it, leave the room. If you don't like it, leave the room.
I love
Next.
Jack Black. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm a big fan of Jack Black.
I don't know if that was a Netflix movie or whatever, because we kind of poach it from the
Okay, and
internet.
for those of well,
Okay, let's
let's move
skip.
on and we'll go back to that. Yeah.
And
Oh
then
my gosh, because that requires its own vlog. Just saying.
it does, right? And so it really does. And let's see, I got so then we did what? The board games, we ate a bunch of snacks, we ate a lot of candy, and we were going to cook a lot more food. And I'm like, we were already there. We had, you know, it was just actually really weird. And then, of course, more, 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 more board games. I'm looking for.
Oh, that's another thing. Okay, first off, if for those of you who haven't been to the
I'm
Philippines
trying to
yet,
find a video.
yeah, that's what I'm saying and interjecting while you're looking. The
No, it's right here.
they tend to throw or light up firecrackers and fireworks during
They,
Christmas time.
yeah, and I said to George, and I've said it for the last 4 Christmases. I said, "Why do they light up
They do that.
fireworks?"
It's a
But which
Christmas
but
thing
what
here.
but
Yeah.
what's your nonchalant response? I said, "Why are they lighting up firecrackers on Christmas?" And George just so lovingly says, "It's Christmas?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay." And I should
Yeah.
have known because I've heard it for the last 4
Another weird thing that Filipinos do, which I don't see it anywhere else.
Look, babe. So so this is what happened in between the board games. I'm not worried about it. It's not-
Now the
That's what happened in between the
an-
board games.
another
Yeah,
yeah, that changes board games to some other games.
yeah,
But
you don't want to see what was on the board game.
the another weird annoying thing that Filipinos do during Christmas time and in on New Year's is they tend to rev their vehicles so they would make noise.
They'll do that on New Year's.
Like, oh my god, really, dude? You're just destroying your engine here, you know. But no, no, really, it's a thing. They do that on Christmas time and on New Year's.
Yeah. All right. So up on the rooftop, click, click, click. There's Heidi having a fit, fit, fit. Okay. So now I'm back. So what had happened is I promised George this year that I would go down and do my thing and go by the church. Instead, I ended up on the roof of the church. So there was no.
Oh, speaking of which,
Go ahead.
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
So then you go by the church and everything, and then it's just party and food and all of that, and then you finally get to eat that fruit that you paid $30-$40 for the 6 pieces that you didn't get skin taxed in this town. It was a whole you got like fruit skin tax at this time of the year. They
Oh,
raise the prices every year on the fruit at the end of the
yeah,
year.
actually, that's the only thing that was open was the fruit stand. But no, really,
And
I'm
then
not
like
joking.
things
I'm not joking.
close. Like we expect clinics and everything else, but I seen on Facebook Curtis said that the entire hospital said closed for Christmas or something. I said the entire hospital. And that's another thing when we were talking about the incident with the passing of expats and then most recently Mark Thornton from Every Man Has a Story is that in some hospitals, even if you make it there and you're in time and the ambulances get you there and everything's super organized and like you're all planned and and there's like a nurse and everything seems like it's going along, specialists and certain doctors you have to wait for some of them to come in,
They have
especially
to
at
call
those
them in.
hospitals. Yeah. And in
Yeah.
this case it was totally closed. So
I mean, unless you go into, for example, St. Luke's, and there's a resident specialist there, that's the only time you won't have to do that.
I was going to test, although we have a crap load of food and it just seems a little whatever. I guess like a waste. I told George, I said I was going to test the Grab people today and just order 2 or 3 pieces of chicken just to see if they were open. There are guys, I'm sure. I asked the guy, was he going to work the holiday? And someone said, yeah, they were, but I don't know. A lot of them do. But they may consider yesterday the an official holiday too, which technically, I guess.
Yeah, I should have brought a camera with me because in hindsight, because again, there's like during like for example Christmas Eve, there's a little window like between like 5 and 7 that the roads are empty, but then after that that's the only window you have where the roads are empty. After that, it turns back to normal or extra normal, as it were. More, it was like insane traffic. Yeah, but
Yeah.
but there's a little window. That's it. Like you get a little break, and then it's like you wish it would last that entire day or night, but no. After that little window, I guess everybody's eating at that time,
Yes.
and then boom. But the only one open that I saw was again the fruit lady.
Yeah,
Shane Rona.
and beware for those that aren't here coming here or recently, and it's probably that you haven't heard this a million times, especially this year. Um, everything's like backed up, like the ferries, the buses, and people do
Oh
it
yeah,
every single
don't
year. And the
travel
expats
during the
usually don't
holidays.
know it, but a lot of the Filipinos will to get out to the provinces. But right now, they say they're really behind in a lot of areas. And then Ted announced that one of the airlines in the United States shut down.
Really? Well,
Well, they canceled all the flights. I'll have to find out. I'll have to look it up. But it happens here. Happens quite a bit. So I just want to. So, anyways, that's how it went. Went by the church and back here, and I think it was 1 o'clock, and I was trying to spoon feed him the mashed potatoes and gravy as like the real deal, and you got 1 or 2 bites, and you was out, but not before that movie. Yeah. So, what was the name of the movie?
okay. Well, going back on the subject, it's called Dear Santa. The concept of the movie is the kid kind of like misspelled Santa to Satan.
Hey, Ted's in
You
the
know what I'm
house.
saying?
Hey,
So instead of getting his Christmas wish from Santa, he gets it
second
from
win.
Aiden. You know what I mean? So that's the concept of the movie, which is great. Again, I think it's hilarious as far as the concept goes. Now the execution and writing. Now here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you right now. You guys can Google this all you want. It's called Dear Santa, Jack Black. Make sure, of course, you put Dear Santa, Jack Black. There's a lot of 5-star reviews. Now, unfortunately, we live in the AI age, and I hate to tell you this, guys. Most of those 5-star reviews are bots.
Yeah, well, that's the
You can
way.
analyze the if you keep reading all the 5-star reviews,
Bots are paid, or
they're
same
bots.
thing with
You can analyze
YouTube.
them. You're like, yep, they're not real people.
Yeah.
So,
Speaking of not real
but
people,
even with the 5-star bots, it still got a score of 2.9. But that's not what I'm getting at. The point is, I'm watching the
I trust
movie,
you.
and I kept quiet the entire time, and Heidi was like,
And everybody
it,
should trust,
"This
like,
movie is boring."
yeah, to rely on those or others. That's why we said with the multiple channels, you really should determine. And now YouTube is like cable TV. As a matter of fact, it's above that right now. So you watch some show, you watch the next. We get people that come back 3 days later. You have to do it for yourself as far as like determining stuff and
Yeah.
everything. Because I wouldn't have. It was just sorry. It was a horrible movie.
No,
It
it was
was.
horrible movie. Do yourself
I
a
don't
favor,
get
save
it.
yourself a couple hours. Don't
All the
watch
stuff, all the
Dear
good
Santa.
points were given
Sorry, Jack
away.
Black. Sorry.
No, and there was no, it was no frills, no nothing, like you said, in the AI world.
Mm-mm.
It was, and then myself, they made it that this young kid was in love with this girl. It wasn't believable because she wasn't that. I just she was. Sorry, she. I just
Yeah.
none of the movie was, but we ended up. He ended up passing out towards the end, and George said it was just that boring. And then
And I love Jack Black. I've been a fan of
and
Jack Black before he was mainstream. I watched him during
no,
his
the
Tenacious D and his guitar because that was his stick.
School of Rock. Some of these movies
That was
was
way
really
before
good.
School of Rock. It was him and his friend. Well, unfortunately, I don't know his friend's name.
Hmm.
But yeah. Hey, Mommy Ink, how you doing?
Hi,
Merry
good
Christmas,
morning.
Pool.
Scott in the world is in the house. Ted is in
Hey,
the
Scott,
house.
great live.
Second win. Guys, check out
Hi,
Scott.
Isa.
Ted, what airline was that's down, or did it ever come back in the United States? Oh, snap. Second Wind said he thought it was a cute movie, but I mean, hey guys, it's I'm just going to throw a lot of people under the bus today. Everybody will have a different
Well,
opinion.
everybody
Some
have their
people
own
love us
opinion.
and hate us,
Yes.
everybody loves George. People don't like some realism. They don't like Big Mouse. They don't like, same with the movie. To me, it was just, I don't know. But then again, I mean, it's kind of crazy where, everybody watches and does what they want, and some stuff is good, and some, everybody has the right to the opinion. So,
Yeah, of course, of course. Well,
hmm
what I'm saying is, I mean, that's our opinion, which kind of usually.
well, I mean, we like certain movies too, and we like the sci-fi, and it could be that the people that really really like it. It just, I guess, out of all the Christmas movies, we should have just skipped over and went to Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and went
Oh, right,
into
the classics. Yes, gotta love
our
planes.
Bad Santa
Die Hard.
2.
You know what I'm saying? Die
Right.
Hard's a
So
great,
these are our
Christmas
normal. So
movie.
when you go and watch these, it's kind of like that one was just for him.
Yippee-ki-yay.
It's the only thing that made the movie was Jack Black and Post Malone being in it. Is the only
You
thing.
know what? Wait, hey, what about Ben Stiller?
Been Anyways, so it's been really fun, and you have your two. Now, why'd you leave your Christmas presents over there? All the stuff that you did and got prepped. And George is going around this morning. I had him do a little bit more work
It's
today,
way over there.
and then he said, "Hey, it does take a little bit to get these together." I said, "Yeah, usually
That
you're
takes some
sleeping."
effort for me to get up and pick that up way over there.
hmm Well,
Guess I have to do
I
it.
itchy today.
All right. Well,
You having more sugar?
I'm gonna take one for the team. I'm gonna get up and pick up the
Well, you
bag.
can do it in a little bit. So we'll be on the live for a little bit. So
Well, I can do it now. It's up to you. I can show my bottle over there because I like to hit the bottle. I'm joking, guys. I really barely hit the bottle. What? Hey,
dun, dun, dun,
it's
dun,
not
dun,
my
dun, dun,
fault
dun,
that
dun, dun, dun,
Shivas Regal was on the
that used to be
table
your old
last
moves.
night, and I'm like,
You used to have
oh
moves like
yeah,
that.
Shivas Regal.
You can't say the word shiv on air.
Why? No, really.
I'm just messing with you.
Oh, okay.
You can't say it.
Shiva, the god of death, but that's not how it's spelled. Shivas Regal.
Really?
What?
Why don't you talk about the Mark Thornton puppet that you were wanting to make?
Okay, so the Mark Thornton puppet. Now I have this
No, you can't show that concept right now. But
It's a joke, guys.
always a joke. Oh, actually, unless I actually say it's not a joke. Yeah.
Jar.
Mm, Santa Claus isn't. Oh no, I'm not gonna even. I almost said it. Mute.
Oh,
I was
dang.
about to say I can't say it.
Whoa. Although that was
Go
really good.
ahead.
Wait. It was who said
It was
that?
on Home
No,
Alone.
I
He
know
said
that, but who
that.
said it? Is
He
it?
said Santa
I
Claus. It was
forgot his
the
name.
Macaulay Culkin said it.
Oh, it was Macaulay Culkin, but
Right.
not.
He said he goes Santa Claus
Oh,
doesn't visit the, and then with the expats that it was a rough year for expats. We'll probably be doing a New Year's live stream. But it was a rough year for expats not making it. So we had the club attack of the one American expat. We had Elliot Eastman, they say is gone. Okay. And then of course there's Mark.
allegedly.
You know what? I like to think that really truly that they're all just sitting on an island somewhere.
Okay, not making fun of anybody. Like I said, in all
And that could be where they're at
seriousness,
though.
it's. I mean, I have said that there's a small chance, very small chance, that all these people are alive and they're just hiding somewhere in some little island in the Philippines. But then again, I guess that's the optimist in me.
Wow, and there's been yeah, let's just put it that way. Yeah. So I'm just thinking about the incoming comments. It's been a real mixed bag. Mostly, people, they feel one way or another way, and all these comments from anywhere from Social Security to just how things are actually. It's, if there's anything, people are like, why are you covering it? Why are you saying it like that? And I'm like, and me and George, we talked about that. Even if one person hears how somebody comes here and this happens, or the way he came here, the way I came here, certain incomes, are you prepared for this, and that? Do we need to throw in a few side things? Yeah, we've always done comedy. That's why we're called Antics, Philippine Antics. And it's the way we do things. It's kind of like when SNL, it doesn't matter good or bad. They did Diddy when he was good and they did Diddy when he was bad. Same thing, it's kind of like it's just where it is, unless we directly say that if I say, hey, I don't like CNN and that blonde woman on there. I can't stand her guts and I hate her. And I directly call her out and say, hey, I know she did this, this, and that. And I'm 1,000% sure. And she's just a low down, no good for nothing. Then you're going to know it. So, or if I call somebody out direct. So, but it's just the way, but it was really, truly, we would call it more tragic than it is, where people are giving up their condolences and everything. And I get it. Everybody, you know, everybody grieves in their own way. Everybody,
Yeah, of course.
There were people that were, he's still, but a lot of them, including the guy at the club. And then, yes, this was all a very,
Yeah.
I mean, there were more than that. There were a bunch that passed away at their places, and there was a lot of expats this year. But every year this happens. So, yep.
Yeah. The one thing the one thing I do miss about SNL is John Lovitz and Alec
Oh, jeez.
Baldwin.
Oh, jeez.
No, I'm just saying, I love those guys. They're hilarious. Ted did mention something interesting.
American Airlines.
Yes,
Yeah.
American Airlines, but he said he was only down for an hour.
Okay, so they're back up.
But here's the thing, yes, that's
But yeah,
long-lasting repercussions,
Mhm.
correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
an hour is such
I mean,
a change.
see, here's the thing. A lot of people like, okay, it's not a big
Ted,
deal.
you
An
were being a
hour.
little dramatic. He was very dramatic in his statement. I read his statement, and it was super dramatic.
What
No,
if?
I'm just
Okay, some of you again don't get the repercussions because here's the problem. That flight, if it's delayed by an hour, your entire flights are F. Like, for example, if you're headed to the Philippines, you're stuck in the US, buddy, because you missed your flight.
You're going to miss that connection.
Correct, the connection. You miss the connection, and then that's it. And then you have in your luggage, guess what? A Christmas present for your new little buddy. You know what I'm saying?
Let's just hope you're not bringing your little buddy.
Correct.
It's like
so that means you have to rebook,
aquarium or something.
refly, and that'll basically you'll show up here.
What's going to happen to the dog?
Probably the 28th or something.
What's going to happen to the dog?
Correct, because if
the dog they ship in advance.
Correct.
So, they had him under cargo and.
Yep, because you only scheduled that day for up to the dog can survive it.
And now that it's costing
eating its own feces for 3 days, now it's 5 days. Now I have a carcass in the box. Hey, you're the one. You're the one who served with the dog. I mean, what am I gonna do?
You
with
went
that?
too far. Maybe we should go back to the Mark Thornton puppet.
Okay, so.
Okay, so anyways, it is now $32,000 to transport your dog. You need 19 documents and your dog's passport in order to get here. Okay, and in that meanwhile, don't forget that you have to put your dog's name on your bank account. Okay. You have to get a stamp in the Philippines to have it shipped back to the US, but you have to send it DHL, or you can send it Banana Boat Express. And then at that point, then you can ship your dogs 72 hours in advance. And that's how it's done here in the Philippines,
Now, speaking of dogs in a box, there's something called Schrodinger's dog. Now, the theory of Schrodinger's dog is if the dog is in a box and you don't feed it for 10 days, is it alive? No, you can't prove it's alive because you didn't check. But if you checked, then it's dead. So therefore, as long as you don't check, the dog stays in this surreal world where it's neither dead nor alive because you can't confirm it's dead or alive.
Is that like cremation?
I don't know. It's a theory. I'm just letting people
I think
know what Schrodinger's theory is.
Did I tell you that somebody bought that Elliot Eastman and Mark Thornton paternity thing?
Okay, so speaking of Mark being the father of Elliot Eastman,
I said, yeah.
According to Scott, which is a very reliable source,
Did
check
he
him out.
say?
He's in Scott's world. According to Scott, okay, I'm not making this up. He says they are hiding with Elvis.
They said that. And then they were talking about in the news all the time. They were like, it's a mystery or something. And we did say that before he passed on. We said there's no more mystery. We said it was. We just used him randomly because of their height and everything, and some of the same features. And it was like George goes, I wonder if we should do like that Johnny Carson thing, and we'll sit there and say blah 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 blah. Who's the father of Elliot Eastman or something? And
Johnny Carson, that's more like Mark Povich.
more like Jerry Springer's. What's going on?
No,
here?
it's Mark Povich is who's the dad thing. That's
Is it?
yes. Jerry Springer is the one who came after him, copying the who's the dad thing. Yes. Mark Povich was the original.
How many times
guy.
did you appear on that show?
Actually, to be honest with you, anyway.
16.
Actually, I'm not joking. But anyway, Scott's World says again they're hiding with Elvis. Check out Scott's World. He's actually in Hong Kong with Isa right now. Great live. Oh my gosh, I would love to taste that deep fried seaweed. Oh my gosh, yeah, great live.
I was
Great
busy
live, Scott.
cooking your barbecue, which you were never grateful for, and now you're.
I was taking one for the team. I was watching Scott and Isa check into their hotel. Oh my gosh, such a beautiful hotel.
You did. He did remember to turn off the camera, right?
Well,
anyways,
according to Viking. Anyway,
Tony, we were talking about Tony.
Tony.
He's like,
what's your name?
Yeah, we were talking about names for possibly the up and coming. We're being granted the name for the
Mark Thorin,
godchild, and so we said Adonis or something. George says, I don't know about Adonis on a Filipino kid. You said, I don't know if it was like our kid in the U.S. that's 6'5" and he's really a good sized guy, Adonis might work, but it's kind of hard to put that kind of name on a kid if he only turns out to be 130 pounds or something and tiny.
Nah, that can't be real.
And then after that, we were talking about Tony. I said, what about Frank or Tony? And that's who we were referring to. He said, can't we just call him Tony? And is that really Ryan on Wi-Fi? Is that what you're checking? Ryan on Wi-Fi, that's him. Ryan on Wi-Fi. That is some great, funny artwork.
Forgot.
What's that?
I forgot. I did forget.
Did he pass?
Jerry, yes.
Yeah. Was it this year?
2023.
Last year doesn't count.
Rest in peace, Jerry Springer. Yeah, right. I forgot.
When I was watching his stuff, it was like where he had started from the beginning and everything. It's quite a story.
Yeah. Regrets, I guess. But anyway.
At our age, I don't think you have regrets. You have wet parts and you don't.
Getting contacted by Jerry Springer himself? Oh no, I do regret certain things. But anyway.
I don't.
Actually, I'm not gonna spill the beans on that one. That's a different story entirely. A different channel entirely. I might talk about it in my gaming channel, So like popping people in my, SMG, you know what I'm saying? I'd be like, so there I was at the Jerry Springer
I was just telling
show.
somebody in Dumagetti yesterday, literally somebody over in Dumagetti. I said, well, I got to go. George is soaping up in the shower with his job. I said, we told you had some jobs. And I said, gotta go. His fans only page calls.
Oh, here's a tip, guys. Crabs can latch onto your junk if you don't have any hair down there. So, just a pro tip, considering Heidi mentioned my job. Pro tip, guys. If the bird is free, then you don't have to worry about those crabs. Just saying.
Great advice for your other AI channel. I have to remember that one.
Wait, no, channel now.
They're gonna be like specific.
It's a different type of AI channel. Nothing to do with expats, guys. Just so you guys know. But anyway.
No, if you guys hear advice, okay, Filipino facts. If you guys hear that on there and they say that the bird is free and the crab thing, then you're gonna know. There you go.
I'm saying I'm learning from experience and I'm sharing my experience.
I'm trying to figure out who this is. It's MYK. What are you guys talking
If the
about?
crab's got
It's
nothing to
George.
latch onto, then you're free.
Is
Just
that?
just don't use kerosene and
Well, I was gonna say
gasoline.
you can use that as a little bit of perfume.
No, I use Axe, but don't use the real Axe. You can get it from Lazada. They have a cheap
For
imitation for
50 cents.
100 pesos.
Oh,
Actually,
that's 50.
104
Well,
pesos, free shipping.
all right, now we've gone too far.
Oh, here's another thing. Another tip. Actually, this is a real tip.
Oh, boy.
Lazada and Shopee. These are two. They're like Amazons of the Philippines. If you use one or the other, not at the same time. For example, I use Lazada for this month for buying something like the fake Axe perfume. So I use Lazada, right? So it's a month already passed by. Guess what? After a month, you know what Shopee does? Hey, you haven't been shopping with us. Free shipping. So you go over to Shopee and you buy, well, I want coffee this month. Buys coffee. And then guess what? After a month goes by, Lazada says, hey, you haven't been shopping with us for a month. Free shipping. No, I'm not making this up. True story.
That's true.
Freaking
You know
genius.
what? I just remembered that Ryan on Wi-Fi.
Hey, Ryan on Wi-Fi.
You know, all this stuff about Mark Thornton. He actually put out some good stuff on the different expats. It is hilarious. Really great
That
work.
takes a lot of work, guys.
And when I'm looking in there and you see Mark there, talk about a legacy. That's where his legacy is. Not in the wet spot and the staring eyes or whatever else is going on in the life of whatever in the future, or blah 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 blah. Take it as you will. But no, there's your legacy right there in those cartoons. I'm telling you. Besides the, I guess, how many books did he write?
All right.
Anyway.
God damn, that is really wrong. Ted says, George, my friends used to book Harleys. Used to back the Harleys up to their friends' tent. So I guess they're camping next to their heads and redline it. Jesus Christ, that's wrong. Wow.
What is redlining? Oh, okay.
They're probably dead asleep. Like, oh my gosh, that's wrong. Hilarious, but wrong. I would do it. Saying.
My dad used to park his in the house, the Harley. He used to take it through the actual house, and when it was snowing and stuff. So.
Well, mine wasn't loud because I have dual pipes.
But he also used to work on it inside too. So, but these are like when houses were really super solid. I mean, I get people build solid houses, but we're talking about like good construction, no Chinese stuff.
Did you say good construction, no Chinese stuff?
Yeah.
Did you just say Chinese?
Unlike my Pikachu.
You don't say Chinese. You say Chinesium. Get it right.
I call it cheesy.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking, guys. Again. Only Americans, I believe, use the word Chinesium.
Mm-hmm.
Filipinos. Oh, okay. On Chinesium, just real quick, guys. There's different levels of Chinesium, and Filipinos are aware of this. There's Chinesium A, B, and C. For example, if you buy a product that's made out of Chinesium in the U.S., it's still a better grade than something you buy on Chinesium in the Philippines.
Next on Philippine Antics.
Oh, no, what happened?
You want me to tell you what it is, and then we can come back with the next?
You want me to
Hold on, we got to confer. Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
So anyway.
So next on Philippine Antics, we'll be covering Overstay Road. We probably should have covered Overstay Road a long time ago. Multiple girlfriends, multiple wives, allegedly. And all the stuff that he puts out. He might have disappeared, maybe. We're going to have to look into that.
Disappeared?
We're the PNN. We ain't CNN. Ask me if I care. Next.
What do you mean?
Next.
He has to beat the girls off as a like freaking e-bike. I mean,
probably, yeah.
Like he's so hot on that e-bike. Which, by the way, if you want to see it, go to Drake Hotel. It's parked in the lobby, right by,
I thought you were going to ask me that question.
Poppy's Bar and Grill.
I thought you were going to ask me that
Hi,
question.
Eric. Hi, Mercy.
If there were 3 expats that I would date, if you fell down the stairs today at 3 o'clock, who would they be? I could answer that today.
Well, it would be, Overstay Road, Eric, and Mercy. See, there you go. 3 expats right there.
No, you forgot to add regular guy and old dog.
What about chosen one?
Yeah, I guess that would work. Actually, that I was just talking about vloggers, but yeah, he's working on his channel too.
Okay, vloggers. Then we'll replace
He said,
chosen one with Scott.
Actually, that's a true story. I did say that. I mean that legitly.
He does have AirPods. Just saying.
So, and it's like, please don't say my name. Please don't say my name.
Right.
Like in that movie.
Right.
Please.
And Hong Kong dollars. He's got a lot of Hong Kong dollars, which again is.
Don't deny this moped.
Well, no. Anybody watches live, I would say that's about right. Whatever he did, that's about right. That's what I would do. So I concur, sir. I concur. Overstay Road has been dead silent with absolutely no comment responses.
I have not
for
looked
7
at
days.
him probably
Very
for a month
for
or
this-
so.
For his channel, especially over Chinatown.
I have not watched whatever's new with him. Every now and then he falls in our feed.
It's on, but it's not on, if you know
with
what
the
I mean.
holiday going on.
I mean,
Baby.
don't get me wrong. I love Overstay, and
Did you look at his whole setup though?
watch his channel when he started with this little rinky-dink house here with barely no locks, stuff like that.
I'll move that from the pad. Sorry.
So what I'm saying is, I follow Overstay from for a long time, and it makes sense, but not make sense at the same time. Bottom line, Ed. Hey, as long as he's happy, that's what matters.
You're a great little husband and a board game player, but as far as investigating and trying to figure him out, just
I'm not investigating. I followed the bro code, yo.
He could be part of
bro
the
code.
Great
guys,
Wall.
Guys, bro code.
Hey, he could be part of the Great Wall of China.
Bros before host, just saying. You're gonna miss me.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna miss you, little buddy, when you don't get any.
Miss you.
When you don't get none of that Japanese cake, and when you.
I'm gonna miss you.
No mashed potatoes for you. So there's no rice in the house.
So you're not. Miss you. Oh, thanks for the mashed potatoes, Ted.
Yeah, because when we were at Landers, we waited till we made that trip to pick up the gift bags that we gave out, and that was at the end of that video we put out, and we kind of did like one of those dump videos again. In the end, somehow, when we clipped the clips, it put 3 in a row, and so I ended up cutting the end of it off. But we ended up doing the gift bags. But anyways, I digress. The rice thing. They don't sell certain sizes, so they had the 2 kgs, the 5, or you had to get a giant one, and it was limited, so it didn't have like any jasmine rice. It was crazy. So we were without rice.
Yeah.
No, so you're not getting mashed potatoes.
Now, to clarify, guys, whenever Heidi talks about sizes, big, small, and also dump videos, she's not talking about shit. She's talking about actual videos.
That is your last warning.
No.
What? Because last warning.
What?
Like you do me.
I do have a scat video channel, so if I have a very audacious dump, I tend to post it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so no, the mouse is anyway.
Yeah, you got. It's the same thing that happened when I did the live stream the other day.
The mouse has several buttons, and one of them is exit, which it's kind of weird because it's right. Well, I'll just mention it. It's literally right by the. Mm-hmm. You can hit it by accident, literally, so easy. It doesn't make sense. But anyway, hey, so then it says, "Merry Christmas, everyone." The big guy says, "Hi." Hey, big guy. Okay. Second win. Oh wait. Hey, second win. How you doing? Ted says, "Congratulations on the 20K. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, Ted. Appreciate your congratulations. Thanks, Ted. And again, thank you, guys. Without you, we'd be just George and Heidi sitting in a corner, begging for food and money by Astro Park. I'm being
I
facetious.
I have an answer for that, but I'm
Oh,
gonna hold that one in.
no.
I'll wait till something happens on the stairs at 3 o'clock
Oh my
Sunday.
gosh, you in the stairs.
Although
Although, honestly, I have more.
I'm just gonna be brutally honest. Same with
What
me.
about
Say
you?
I'm gonna use the money to go to the mall and do my nails and pay for fancy equipment for my phone and to vlog more and make more
Oh, I thought
money.
when you mentioned that I barely like get a hacksaw and cut the legs of your chairs just enough, that kind of deal. Sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah. Oh, this is going nowhere fast.
War of the Roses ain't got nothing on us. Sorry,
I don't
Michael
think we should have.
Douglas.
You don't do very good getting up at the 4 a.m. You really don't, because I think you're already half tired.
Right?
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, there's stairs there.
Oh, Lordy, Lordy. Just go through the comments.
Okay.
Little buddy.
Can't add that in. Didn't you? Big guy says, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Yes, Merry Christmas, guys, Happy New Year. Racetracks, hi, Heidi and George, Merry Christmas. South Carolina in the house. Hi, peeps. Hey. Hello, Harry and Gary. Jennifer Wilson is with us today. Merry
What
Christmas,
is
everyone,
we really
from
had
balmy
we really have missed
80
stuff on overstay.
degrees. Wait,
I mean,
is that 80 or is that 8? In sunny, well, it probably is 80 in sunny Vancouver Island. All right. Bobby G's with us today. Merry Christmas. Um, George and Heidi. Hope you guys have a very blessed holiday. Thank you so much. Um, big guys watching from Best Buy, California. Hey, there you go, Best Buy. They do have a showroom where you can sit down and watch.
yeah, I'll pass on that. So we won't be covering overstay. So I mean, there's like blatant clickbait like we do, and we do it sometimes. And people claim it's all the time. Usually, it's a roundabout way.
What are you
Like I
talking
quit
about?
a lot of things.
Are you
No,
saying that
yes,
that overstays
overstay.
clickbait king? No,
Yes, there's
no,
several in,
guys.
but it
Overstay is
is
not
part of the
clickbait
game.
king. It's Tim K.
Oh, I
Don't get me
know.
wrong.
But
Don't get me
there's
wrong.
nothing
I
wrong
love
with
Tim.
it.
I
They're
love Tim
supposed
K.
to do
I
that to
love
get you
Tim
in
K.
there.
But yeah, he's really really good at it. Yes.
And it is Zemus. It's the
And
end of
I'm
Christmas.
like
We're at the
watching
end
and
of
watching. Like, and then
and I did quit.
here comes the title thing, and I was like, dang it, Tim, why'd you do that? But anyway, I
How
did
long
watch
did
the
I go
video.
this morning and then I quit? How long?
Well, which one did you quit? You, babe, it's your.
No, you.
What?
You.
I can't say that.
Oh, after everything you said about cutting legs off the chair and everything. Oh, and you've done that before. No, that didn't even sound right.
Well, if you want me to say that, I'm going to talk about like ringing Santa's
You still
balls
didn't
and
go
stuff.
get your stuff. Go get your stuff
You-
while we're talking about them, because it's officially been time.
Okay, fine. You want me to grab that, and you want me to grab that? I guess.
Yeah, you could show them
Who's
the.
that?
Hi, baby girl.
Oh.
Hi. Oh, hi. Hi. Dun, 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 the tail. Georgie got ran over by a
She's still there, by the way.
reindeer.
Your other
Walking
daughter's
home
still
from
there.
Walking Street last night.
All right. Anyway, yeah.
You can say you like to have with reindeers.
So this is a sealed bottle.
Oh.
I think it's kind of hilarious. Thank you, Heidi, for your sense of humor.
Right.
Just an actual official bottle. It says 19 crimes.
19 crimes.
And,
it's a wine company. They have it in the
there's
U.S.
me.
That is George, and it says
This is
Philippine
actually
Antics.
a bottle that was actually released by 19 Crimes USA, and
Personalized label.
You threw out the bottle. I mean the box.
It's somewhere here.
Well, anyway, but this is actually
I didn't throw you out, but possibly the box.
This is actually from 19 Crimes. So it's actually a legitimate 19 Crime bottle.
Oh, you have to lift it. It's got the name Philippine Antics at the
Well,
bottom.
they can barely see it. Yeah.
No, actually, you can if you stop shaking it around. You got more sleep. Open up the other ones there, Pikachu.
Right. Now,
Hi. You can have some barbecue
in all
beef and
fairness,
mashed
honestly,
potatoes.
it would have been perfect if it wasn't just Chardonnay. I mean, too many crickets, woman. Get some red. Just saying.
I got white because you're light.
What? You wish.
Got like 6 wings on you, son.
That's fun. Okay, now talking about Red Wings. Now the proper way to do a Red Wing. Anyway,
You are nasty.
how am I nasty? I'm just talking about like the shoes. You know what I'm saying? I got it's broken.
All the candy canes are broken in this town. I was just telling George I'd have had a
Actually,
lot
stop.
more
I
fun in
can't
this
even pull it
town
out.
in my 30s.
Stop.
This is Christmas number 56, 54, because I had extra Christmases in between.
What the frick is this? Oh no!
I had to one up
Seriously?
Ted.
What is this?
I had
Okay,
to one up
here's
Ted.
what it looks like in the bag. I honestly don't know what this is, guys. What the hell is this? Is this a tube stock?
No,
They call them tube socks,
I
by
don't
the
think
way.
you could show that on it.
Well, I am going
And
to.
by the way, if
Let's break the internet, shall we?
Victoria, I think, said that the puppy, which is now closer to 6 months old, she is a Pekingese. So the hair was a dead giveaway. And so when she was seen by the vet
Hey, be
and
nice
by
to
the
discount
groomer,
puppy. Discount puppy.
yeah, discount puppy. So she's a
Oh my
Kishu.
God! It is a. It is a.
No, it's not. It's a face mask.
It's yes, it is. It's definitely a face mask.
It's a face mask.
Yes. Where it's a face mask, guys. Sorry, misidentified it as a face mask. Yeah.
Hey,
Exactly how you
COVID
work.
may be coming around.
Oh, I feel so much healthier now. I can go through the.
Well, wait a minute.
I should walk around the airport with this.
Look.
Yes,
It's
that's
got googly eyes.
yes, that's the filter.
I think you have it upside down. And notice it's Filipino size.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, Batman, but I'm gonna have to break
Calvin,
your
I
back
sent you
on a
yours.
different day.
Hey, Calvin, I sent you yours. I sent 3 of them. So have the lady sew them together. All right, all right, next.
Oh, okay, sorry. I apologize for everybody. I really didn't see that coming, but that's just what it looks like, really.
You should have.
So it is a tube sock. That is what it's meant for,
Let's put your hot dogs.
and it's about the right size for the hot dog.
Yeah, see, that way, George, when he gets hungry later, he can put his hot dogs in it. Here, it's a sling bag.
I definitely should walk in the mall with that one.
Nobody will know. Only you know, you freak. Look.
All right, now this comes with a really weird, like garbage bag-like container.
Yeah, because I was too cheap to wrap it or too lazy. See, look, so see, it holds.
What
See.
the frick is this? What is this? This is not very promising.
Hey, don't. Oh wow!
What is this?
You're close. Dun 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 dun.
What the? No, seriously, I have no clue what these
Yeah,
are.
you're close to the sound. It's exactly what it is. Dun 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 dun.
Gosh, I hate packaging. Swear to God.
Oh. Guys, later I'll be auctioning off George's fans only page and the puppy.
Wait a minute.
And his artwork.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's like Luigi.
So it's a storage container.
Storage container?
Yeah, you put your shoes in it. It's meant to be how the, and it does it and then it comes
These
up.
are little flip flops, guys. They're little slippers.
Yeah.
So
they're
yeah,
meant to
it's
go,
like Luigi.
Yeah, they're for storage. So
oh my gosh, that's so cool! It's a tube.
Yeah, you know how in the game they go down the tube and up the tube.
Check that out.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Again, Filipino size. What is that size? Like 9, literally.
Wow, dude, the Philippine Antics shoe.
I hope this is funny. Makes just one person laugh.
Funny.
Then I could talk smack about 9 other expats
In
next week.
now, special
Make up
guest,
for it.
Mark Burnham.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a tag. I was wondering what she got. Oh, and the dog's toys over there.
What?
Her French
Oh,
fry
her little
outfit
bag?
didn't come. Yeah. Well, she's got we ordered a walker, or like a, what's it called for her? Well,
That's so cool. Though.
well, she's over there chewing the tags. So, of course, our favorite, the pizza, because the cats and the,
I feel like Jermier or Quay or something.
and then the French fries. Here, go ahead and get the French fries out. So both the cats and the dog. There's individual ones in there. So they have fun actually playing. Okay.
Wait. Oh, okay. There you go. Yo, what's up?
I really, really wish every day,
What?
I can't say that. Every day could be like this, so I can remember you forever.
Well, I do stuff like this on a regular basis, but most of it can't be shown on camera, especially YouTube or in public.
Are you serious, girl? Stop chewing on the tag,
Yeah.
silly. Here, let me give you the pizza.
JD says, Merry Christmas, George and Heidi. Love the show. Thanks so
There you
much,
go.
JD. Shane Victor, I was touched the very first time last week. It was so exciting.
Oh, because like
the
a
very
bird.
first
Yeah.
time. Yeah,
It was
Sorry, I
crazy.
can't sing, so that's a joke, obviously.
It was
Yeah.
But it was, and here's the crazy part, and you can't control it. There were 3 or 4 people. Oh, I didn't know these had chewies in them.
Whoa. Nice. Oh. That's really cute.
The only problem I have with those is eventually they get to the. I think you're supposed to have those taken out so she doesn't choke on them.
Word.
Then you can re-sew it back together.
Big guy Shay, that's a shame.
Pee-wee
Mentally or physically, were you touched?
How the
Pee Wee
other-
Barnes says, Merry Christmas, everyone. Spread holiday cheer. There you go. Oh, speaking of which, you know what irks me the most about Christmas? Again, I'm not being
that you've hit your credit card max.
well, other than that, forget theology. They all say Happy
That
Holidays.
5 or 6 people.
They show a friggin' Christmas tree, but they say Happy Holidays, and they tell you Happy Holidays. Like,
and
just
then they're Jewish and they're
just
really.
say it. Merry Christmas. I mean, I get the religion thing, but Christmas wouldn't
even
exist.
here it's becoming where they
No. It's mostly in the West. But what I'm saying is,
okay.
it's obviously Christmas.
Oh, the ones that just say Happy Holidays.
Yeah,
and
it's like
insist at the Christmas.
Guys, I mean, I'm not anti any particular religion, but
We came
there
from the
is
best.
no Christmas in with the Jews. It's called Hanukkah. There is no with Muslims. It's called Eid Mubarak. Different type of. It's Christmas, guys. Just say it. Merry Christmas. It's not your holiday. I get it, but
I'm not going to wake George up this early anymore.
well, am I lying? I mean,
No, it's true. But we did come from the best generation, like as far as the one that we're in right now.
Like everybody says, oh, happy holiday. I get it. It's all. What do we
The
say?
ones before was a good one, but
mean-
anything after ours, Gen Z, Gen X, all of these.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna get butthurt, then get butthurt yourself. Don't
That's where
involve
I'm
other
at.
people.
If people don't like SNL, George Carlin, if they don't like Eddie Murphy, if they don't like, and all those jokes that are being told back and forth, then it's next. Because that's just the way it is. This new generation thing is just.
Yeah, so you say happy holidays. There's a freaking Christmas tree. There's only one religion that celebrates Christmas trees.
Oh,
happy holidays. Okay.
Oh, it's okay, but for the most
No,
part.
I get it, but call it as it is. You know what I'm saying? Again, you don't call a menorah, oh, this is a holiday candle holder. Nobody ever says that, do they?
Well, yeah.
Know what I mean?
Well, or if it's their specific holiday, they say directly that holiday to each other.
This is
So
a,
another.
this is a holiday hijab. Here you go. No, they don't say that.
Well, they
It
actually
is
might.
what it is.
Can you believe that she's chewing on the fry holder, not the fries? So it's just a.
Go figure. It's like the
It's just
kid
a
playing.
flat piece of.
Yeah, it's like the kid
She's
playing with
not
the
really going
box instead of playing with the actual
for the
toy.
big
Yeah.
items.
Um,
And the cat is over there playing with one of the Christmas bags. The stuff was in.
Scott's World says Merry Christmas, everyone. Again, he's in Hong Kong right now, spending time with Isa. Tedinga says George, my friends used to. Oh, we already right. Sorry, I read it.
I'm checking to see how crazy it is out there because we've
Second one
got two
says
cameras.
the mall here at 11 o'clock was dead. No guards either. Normally you see guards. Smile, be happy. Thumbs up. Second one says traffic here. 11 p.m.
Okay,
Wasn't
so
much
it's slowed
traffic.
down. Just everybody's
Hey
having
Harry, how
normal
you doing,
holidays.
Harry?
Hi, Harry.
Harry Walsh in the house, guys. Second one says yes.
And let us know what you guys are
Dear Santa
doing
was cute.
today.
Good morning.
How you're.
Mommy guiding. Sorry. Yeah. Merry
No,
Christmas.
I'm just sorry.
Yeah, she said
Are
it
you?
twice.
You're tired.
No, she said it twice.
No,
So
I
got
I'm just saying
thrown
you
off
look
there.
extremely tired.
I always look extremely tired. I watched most of our lives.
It's rare that you get up that early. I mean, you do, but you don't most of the
Mike
time.
Miller
So
says American Airlines went down this morning. Seaweed Hero says imagine Philippines legalizing all flowers, roses, cannabis.
I don't think that, although they're considering the medical flower, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. So I would just.
Oh.
It's a
Clifford
taboo
says Merry
topic
Christmas
for the most part.
Happy Hanukkah. There you go. Happy Hanukkah. I was
There
like,
it is.
there it is. Hey, TJ Riley from the Rileys. Merry Christmas to you too. Merry Christmas to you. Lauren Van.
Are we sure that you said from the Rileys? I don't know. Are you sure that's him?
Well, it's still the Rileys.
Oh, I got it. I thought you were talking about the.
Yeah.
There is a channel. There's a few of them.
K Dallas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, K Dallas. How you doing?
Hey, Merry Christmas, guys.
Oh, someone says, I said the movie was cute, not great.
You, whatever. We
All right.
know you
Yes.
did.
No.
Let's see. Oh, hold on. I guess so. I guess if we're going to address things, we can address it. We can just address it on another
Mike Miller
day.
says, every man has a story. Had a new vlog with Jen and Mark's friend.
Gotcha. Yeah, haven't seen it. Did you see it?
Oh, you're asking them.
Well,
She's
yeah, I
asking
know I know a few people have left us messages. We're assuming it's somebody dealing with that left the messages on our channel because they were new accounts. But I mean, it was on Jen's channel. That would be my curiousness, because I'll check later on Jen's channel. Mark Thornton, Elliot Eastman, is that a Diddy party? Tony! Could be. Nothing like a Thornton Eastman party.
Seawood Hero says, I know of two who passed.
There was a gentleman in Cebu that a rapper had ended his life at a club, came back early AM and got him. There were just two expats recently that passed away in their condos in Cebu. I believe it was the same building, could have been a separate one. Right off the top of my head, there was a few of them that had passed away from cancer, medical conditions. There's lots of them. They're just not bloggers. But yeah.
Mike Miller says,
but the other one he was an MMA fighter.
What surprised me was the amount of Social Security Mark was drawing. I don't understand how it was that small with all the money he made.
Gotcha.
Right on Wi-Fi again.
Well, here's the thing. Several sources. Okay, we always say alleged, confirmed. We say at the beginning, it's in our description. Okay, it covers us. He has talked about his own amount of Social Security. So most of what we've been talking about has been based on his years worth of information being put out, or stuff he has told people in person, or people that are over in Dumageddon or have interacted with him and as such. So in that case, he mentioned his own amount of Social Security. The reason it's probably low is because on those cruise ships. I don't know how much exactly, but a lot of them are based on self like self pay and everything, whether he, how the taxes were handled and all of that. And he must have had low working the quarters and stuff. He had to be at that, amount.
No, I'm just analyzing.
1099 something if he was
Yeah,
selling artwork. It's hard saying how it worked.
right. I mean, because remember, some things don't go in the system if that makes any sense. And
It depends if he filed, if he didn't file,
exactly.
or
Thank
there's
you.
all kinds of stuff. But if he's at that amount, that's usually people that stay at a low amount like that is on the low income or they didn't work type of Social Security. But
Yeah.
if it is just regular and it's that low, that means it's how it was paid in. So
Not
like
to
my mom, she
mention,
worked part time
it's kind of like, okay, I've been in business long enough in the U.S. to know that, again, for example,
and a
even
99er
if,
check was
say,
low.
for example, just an example, guys, if you made, for example, 100 grand per month, okay, again, just an example, but you only filed like 1,000 per month instead of the actual 100 grand that you made, guess what? They're gonna go off that 1,000. So how much money you made is kind of irrelevant versus what actually filed.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I
Take
mean.
it as you may.
Correct.
Don't twist it because some people twist what's said
Yeah,
on this
they tend to
channel.
twist whatever we say. Like, we didn't
There's
actually say anything bad
multiple
about the guy
definition
or the girl or the dog
throughout
or
the
the
last
cat.
couple
It's
years.
like,
So
but
yeah,
then they twist the words like,
multiple
what are you
definitions,
talking
and I
about?
can think of several times, but it's just how it sticks with people. So
Correct. It's like I say, bato-bato sa langit, kumatan,
they're
magalit.
mad at you because you're the top 10% vlogger here. You're the
I
ten
don't care if
percenter.
they're mad at me because I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're mad at me, then there's something wrong with you.
I'm mad at you several times a month.
I rest my case. So, Smile Be Happy says Steve the bodyguard has his own show. Yes, he does, and I don't like it only because it's literally a carbon copy of Jerry Springer. It's kind of sad, you know. It's like, dude, get your own shtick. You know what I'm saying? No. We know he's alive and well. Yes. Overseas doing videos. He is alive. Well, yeah. No, he's fine. He's fine. Hey,
That's
Bruce,
good
how
to
you doing?
hear.
Hi, Heidi and George and everyone. Good
Good
morning. Merry Christmas, everyone.
morning.
Merry Christmas to you and Judith. Tony Manning says, "Here's a warning. Everybody should know: if you're out with a bar girl, do not be breastfeeding so you can get. Wait, what?
Kid Manila.
What the freak?
What's that?
Okay, Tony. Good tip. Good tip.
Tony.
Ted Dingan says,
We'll be sure to put that in the book that George is writing.
right. It's actually a good tip. Somewhat left field, but it's a good tip. Ted Dingan
Helps the
says,
immune system.
Mega Lotto is over. $1 billion. Tonight. If I hit, I'll buy a new house for Mary. Oh,
there you go.
wait. Mary gets a new house, not us.
Yeah, that's a house for you and her because you always in the doghouse.
Yeah,
That's what
true.
he's
I
trying to
guess that
tell
makes
you.
sense. That makes sense.
Mm.
Yeah. Ryan says, "Do you think Mark will ever watch the cartoons?"
He could be sitting on an island watching right now.
He could be.
Could be.
He could be sitting on the island with Elliot right now watching your
And do I ever
cartoons.
think he watched him? The answer is yes.
Oh, I'm
I'm gonna
sure you
tell you
did.
right now
Of course you did.
that's some thin-skinned group over there.
Ryan, if somebody says they've never heard of
Either
you,
learn to deal with you.
they're
Yeah.
lying. I'm just saying,
No.
Ryan. Good job.
And anybody who has to, I've been guilty of it because I didn't know how to play the game till now. And YouTube is a game. You're out in public and it's the way you do the social media and everything else. Everybody's on it and all that. And it's a big situation. And as far as, did he? I bet he did. And so evidently that group over there in that section of his world tends to go through and watch the vloggers and have heart attacks and took everything personal and all that. And I'm like, you didn't take no time off. Take some time off and sit down somewhere, But if they did and they got upset over the cartoons, it doesn't matter. So,
Right.
but no, I'm sure it's. Oh, I'm almost positive.
Scott Swirl says that's true. I have Hong Kong dollars and AirPods. Yes, yes, you do. You have been a quote unquote a naughty boy. Hey, no, really. That's what Isa said.
Ah,
Called him a naughty boy. I don't know what
aw.
else Scott does behind the camera, but just saying. I had dim sum for breakfast this morning.
I can't take your head no more.
Oh, what? Oh, you can't take my Jamiroquai impersonation.
Uh,
Where's
uh, 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 uh,
where's,
uh.
where's my Santa hat? You took away my Santa hat.
I don't know. I didn't. You the one that.
Well, I guess I'll deal with this one.
Yeah.
Deal with my tiara. Um,
It's backwards.
no. What if I don't like the decoration?
That wasn't your intention.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
It was all planned.
All right. So.
Simon says I'm girlfriend out. I'm too old to be a player. Thaddeus says the only merchandise I ever bought was Mark's Indiana Gear bag, American leather for 100 years. Oh, leather warranty for 100 years. Wow, that's some good warranty there. There's some companies out there with lifetime warranties though. But anyway, um, oh, okay. Tony says overstays on vacation in Thailand. Max says congratulations on 20K. Thank you so much. Hey, Cindy, how are you doing?
Good
Merry Christmas, Cindy.
morning.
Cindy is in the Philippines in Dumaguete. Merry Christmas to you both. Seriously,
Yeah.
you scared me with the title. Heidi quit.
Well, technically, I am not being paid for all those or whatever, and it really is a hobby. And I'm talking about after an hour, I quit this morning.
You know what?
No
You're
more.
fired.
I've been fired.
Fired.
Mm,
Chupi chupi. Chupi chupi.
I just put out a little expat help every now and then.
That's what Filipinos say.
Mhm.
Go away. Chupi chupi. Chupi
This is the
chupi.
way I communicate on social media, so I can tell people to bite me and next now. And evidently that offends some people, but for now on, if you see next, you know it's me answering. Next, crybabies.
Angelo says Merry Christmas at Parañaque City. Safe holidays. There you go.
All right. Parenque.
Sandwich says U.S. no more piracy. Hey, Mike, how you
No
doing?
more
Mike,
Party City.
our
They got rid of.
Philippine,
They got rid of Party City.
yeah,
Good morning.
Philippine journey. Merry Christmas all. Cindy G says I love Heidi's perspective on living here. Now, keep in mind, Heidi has a very unique perspective, as in,
I came up with a new one last night.
oh, what is that?
That I'm getting old. And I'm just not going to tolerate a lot of things. I'm going to call it like I see it. Didn't do it, probably. I mean, have I had attitude for a few years? Yes. Probably about after the age of 40, there was a real flip. But as far as like all the different people karaokeing last night, midnight, 1 o'clock. It was like I said, if I was younger, it'd be one thing. But when you live through so many Christmases or you've seen so much stuff and traveled the world, been different continents, you just kind of, it's just where it is. It's just, you learn with age and it's more of experience. So when you have a 30-something-year-old girl that knows it all, yeah, she does like the French fries, that knows it all. It's like, yeah, honey, you have no idea. You got years to go as far as households and children and amount of cars. And you start out with this perfect vision of how your life's going to be. Oh, I'm going to have this house and be married and this and that, and I'm going to have kids. And no, them dreams crash all the time. And there's some things you just can't control. With age, you finally realize all that stuff. You couldn't have told me nothing up to 40. I'm like, okay, okay, okay. And so it's you learn with age, but some of us still do stupid stuff. It happens. It's now getting to be experienced. That and your bones hurt sometimes. Keeps you from, jumping up and doing things, but it happens.
Yeah, there's an old saying in the Philippines. It's called kamote, which means sweet potato. Don't ask me. I don't know where
She
that.
likes the French fries.
But when they say mamotia, it means he got sweet potato. Now, what that means is when they say kamote, sweet potato, It's, I guess, a synonym of idiot.
And I think coming here at the height of the pandemic, like we were here when all of it started. And every day, several times a day, both me and George was combing through the news, putting stuff out, talking with people through video. And we went through that whole thing. We've watched how the Philippines has grown, like as far as like how all these conveniences came up due to the pandemic and how all things evolved. And people are like, yeah, you should have been here a couple years ago before some of these items and deliveries and some of these other things existed. And so the country's come along, and we've been here as the prices rise and as the expats are arriving and the 100 million vloggers and all these different things that are going on. And it's like everybody's holding a camera, and how attitudes have changed of the younger generation versus the younger, and who's polite and who's not, and how there's all kinds of things going on. Philippines is changing, the people, the ways, good, bad, and so there's a lot going on. So, for those that have arrived in the last couple years, they're kind of saying how things are going. And so everybody's going to make that decision whether they're coming or not, but understand it's paradise, but it's not. It's a place to retire. Because someone asked me when I said the island of misfits and the fakesters, it was directed not at, okay, Mark. The topic was in there. This was towards the whole group because we were discussing the island of misfit. We all have issues. Some come here because it's cheap. That was us. It was right in the height of the pandemic. It just pushed us further and quicker into early retirement to take more time off and come here. Is where George is from. Whether we have issues or don't, or but there's always something going on. And the ones who pretend that there's nothing going on or how perfect things are here, it's like, you can only live on that for so long. And some put up that full grand illusion. So that's why I say it's fake stirs. And then it came into the whole thing about the people of, were they truly sorry about the passing of every man? I'm sure they are. And that, but there's also ones that were brutally honest. And then you see all the comments coming in about, what could he have done, or this and that. It's all over the internet. We're not putting this out. We're just revamping what's actually been put out there. And there's really a lot of lessons to be learned. And so it's like, that's where I found it to be fake and not fake. And and they're like, oh, well, you guys were. It's like, no, I pretty much feel sorry for Jen and the baby. And they've got a long road. The Social Security road looks like more things. She had gotten the baby registered, but she still got a long road. And that's not going to fix her financial problems because that Social Security check is for the baby, not for her. So that money will have to be spent on the child, not for her personal living or anything else that goes on. So that all needs to be checked in. And so there's a lot going on. So,
Don Doc, Merry Christmas.
hey, Don Doc.
Shane Victor says food is definitely our biggest expense. Family of three. I need to stop eating so
What are
much
you
Western
doing?
food.
No, you can't come
Well,
up
for the
here.
most part, Western
You're
foods
trying to come up
again.
here again. I know
You have to
want up
translate
here.
whether it's worth it or not.
Jeez, calm down. I know you're
For
trying to.
example, ham. There's Filipino ham and there's American standard ham. Actually, it was a discussion yesterday because of um, well, it's Christmas dinner. Ham is involved, and I said it's real simple. When you buy ham that's in a ball, it's called jamon de bola, which means ball of ham. Yes, it's Spanish. Jamon de bola. Um,
Does that mean just bologna and ham grinded
if
up
you
and
cut
formed into
open
a
the
ball?
ball and if it stays a ball, then it's probably ham. But if you cut open the ball and it falls apart, it's probably really good. Just a little tip there. Um, Val 663 says Merry Christmas from Boogie Down Bronx. All right, love all your videos. Watch you guys all the time. Thank you so much, Val. Thank you for the support.
Look who got back up here, Dad.
Yes, I saw that. Second
Just
win
skip that
says.
second win.
Oh, okay.
Jeez, George.
Hey guys, Elliot Eastman is here with us
Sure he
today.
is.
Elliot Eastman
Now it could
says,
be.
"Hi guys, I'm back. I went to visit SpongeBob at the
There
bottom
it
of the
is.
sea."
There it is. So
That's the
I would have actually checked, but there are.
for those of you who don't know, it goes like he lives in the bottom of the sea. SpongeBob SquarePants. He's porous and yellow. What?
I'm
Anyway,
just listening.
so
Just looking at you like you look at me and not
G.I. Joe
respond. So I'm
says,
just not
"Is
going to
George
respond.
really a hoe?" There you go.
Yes.
Well, depends. Is
Depends on the
your
time of
fans
the day and
only?
how much you're paying
Yes,
out.
correct. Is it Thursday? That kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Is it 3 o'clock in the morning? That you ask yourself that question. Tropical Canadian. Menina Price says,
Good morning.
"Hi,
Merry
watching
Christmas.
from Illinois, USA." All
Hello.
right. Tropical Canadian. Merry Christmas, you guys. Thanks so much. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Anita. Daddy says, Italian, it's Cristiano. There you go.
It's just not. Ed said trolls are feeding off the bigger channels are part of the game. We've seen large channels feed on small ones. It doesn't matter right now. The world of social media doesn't matter which platform. There's a lot of backbiting. It's just part of the game now. So it's just where it is. I'll tell you what. I'll be glad when YouTube shuts the subscriber count down again. So, or because subs aren't what matters. Somebody said something about Mark having 88,000 friends and they were all of his friends. No, very false. That was another fakester thing that I've been hearing people say. It doesn't, you get to know people, and we do have people that we talk to and we've made friends, but I wouldn't call all 20,000 people. People sign up because we've done pet videos. People like in the beginning, we did some artwork. They liked us in Mexico, and the subscriber count is it's the views, what they watch, what the subjects are, and all of it changes. So it's a but that's been going on since the beginning of time, and I know people cringe on that, but you take away the viewer count or the sub count here in the Philippines and the world, it's just going to be based on your content. So a lot of them only sign up because there's already somebody, not always because of what they watch. It's
No,
kind of
this
a
this
mixed
is a
bag.
real thing. I mean,
Right.
yeah. Second one says, "Let's go woke. Let's go woke." There you go.
Because YouTube's already like people used to be able to get 20-30% without advertisement. Now that it's a pay to play, and I'll go through that again, it's a matter of that situation. So 2 to 5% is normal these days, where 2 years ago you could have got 20-30% with no efforts.
Shane says, "I heard the OnlyFans are people only showing their feet and earning a couple grand plus a month. I can do that. There you
Yeah.
go."
George does the bubbly scene. Bubbles and bubbles
Yeah.
and bubbles, he calls
Stanley
it.
says, "Don't forget to like and subscribe." Thanks so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Again, makes Heidi giddy. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, bah humbug.
Cindy G says,
I think that's,
"I enjoy your hats and more each time." There you go. Thank you so much, Cindy.
Oh, can we talk about the mystery of that person that came in and said all that stuff the last time? Or we save that for the next live.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's a very vague statement.
We'll just wait. I'll save it.
Okay. John Ryder says, "Hello, Heidi and George." Ed says, "Trolls are part of the game."
It is.
The true Die Hard friends. Speaking of Die Hard, today is probably a day for you to watch Die Hard. That's a great Christmas movie.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And
true.
all channels have them, so yeah, we got.
Well, again, literally all, even knitting channels or whatever. No, I'm not making that.
Yeah.
Gardening channels, they have trolls. It's kind of weird.
Well, people know that.
It comes with the territory.
Mhm.
So don't open
And
a
there
YouTube
are
channel.
the semi trolls. There's other channels, YouTube channels that have big numbers that make multiple channels and sock puppet. It's what they do to go over and a bunch of the Doomageddon guys make a bunch of them go after each other, and it's just how you learn to handle it. And officially, we got a handle on it months ago. So, and they either love us or hate us. That's where we're at on it. So they're just a view. They're just a comment. People switch channels. You guys will go from this channel to that channel. You're watching, you don't. You comment, you don't. And the average guy in public seems to accept the cameras much more than 5 years ago. Yeah, and there is a lot of them. There is a lot of it doesn't matter where you're at, even in the grocery store. And I would have thought it would have got easier, like when I first started recording, George did. If you were holding a camera in a store, it was super odd. But sometimes I still get that odd feeling when we're somewhere, and it's a matter of like if there's a lot of kids around. I don't know. I just think because everybody has a camera, it just sometimes get odd. So
Yeah. Now Shane says getting old is my worst fear, but it will happen to all of us.
And yes, Jennifer, there is. It is part of the rules. That's all that matters. So I hope that I'm sure she'll adhere, being she's getting all this wonderful advice from one or two people over there, that that she will, because it's not her spending money. So for Mark, if he left it thought he was leaving it behind, blah blah blah, the money is intended for the child, his food, his clothes, all of that, and there should be an accounting. Because if she's ever audited or anything comes up, yes, she needs to account for it, and it is that type of Social Security. So, yeah. So there is how, why can be done at any time. So
Right. Now the system in place is there, but it's not 100%. What I'm saying is,
yeah, will it happen? Yeah, any of us. So yep.
yeah, it may or may not happen. But if it does, unless she shows the receipts, literally, she's
She
screwed.
really needs to keep them. That's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to
Everything
say.
she
So
spends
if
on
she
the
learns
child
anything,
has to be documented. Yeah.
right. So I would hope with all this, advice and anything
Right.
else, we haven't seen her video yet.
And then they make a
So,
like a logical
but,
deduction whether
but a
okay.
lot of people have mentioned this, and it is, it is in public. That's what that's for. So a lot of people are like, oh, well, she's going to be all right. She has, even if she gets 600 or 700 from his money, she's going to be more than fine. But the money's not for her. So technically, if she's making zero money in the household and all bills are being paid out of the money, that could be a serious problem in the future. So it could get down to that. So
Right, it's a question of again quantity and quality and when.
yeah, because people said she'd be set up, so she
Right.
would need to still work, and so it's not a lot of people. And this is in defense with Jen, because a lot of people are like, about her, she's set for life, and this and that, and that she won't have to worry about
It's
it.
not
But
that
no,
simple.
it's she would, she's still going to have to be able to work. It's nice to have that to assist, and she'll be able to get money to help take care of the schooling and his food and clothing, and he'll be taken care of, in a good manner on that level, but she'll still have to work. So, and of course, we'll get naysayers on that. They'll say, no, that's her money. And unfortunately, she is not collecting money. She didn't qualify for Social Security. So, what's that? What I'm going to do is we're discussing that, me and George, or me will do it's time to go into about Social Security, benefits and different things. We plan to call Social Security and get some of the questions answered and get as much stuff, but it'll just be in regards, because there's a lot of guys here applying for benefits, and then there are women. We'll try to get as much information as
Yeah, from the
possible. We're not
horse's mouth, as it were.
and we're not professionals, but there'll just be some information, because also we just set up, I got the Social Security deposit officially here, so that's nice, so I don't have to worry about replacing a bank card or transfers, and it'll save money based on no transfers. We were using the card and got hit by international fees on certain things, so it is better this way, so people could ask questions on that. And it was one of our popular videos. It's time to put it out. And so
Yeah.
if there's anything else to learn from what's going on with Mark, there is a good thing, and it is, I guess I would call it
Well,
then at
for
that
instance,
point.
Heidi called the hospital right before he passed, and they said she can come and visit him. So, just saying.
What's that is true. The same morning. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I just had to say that because again, there's certain things.
Oh well, yeah. There's a lot of different rumors that
Yeah,
he had
but
passed
Heidi did
away in
call
the
the
same
hospital, and they
day,
said
and I get people say
that
we too are
she
putting
could
out
visit
stuff.
him, and I'm like, okay. And then this guy sounds saying something otherwise. But anyway,
Yeah,
whatever.
there's a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And I think the more that people squawk about what happened, not us, I'm talking about on that side and then that household possibly, and more that's explained, Is it true? Is it not true? Who knows?
Correct.
So, as I'm to understand, we have not seen the video. Supposedly, somebody sat down with her. I don't know who that man is. Could be his brother. Could be an ex. I don't know. Could be, who knows? Who knows who it is? But in that manner, um, as I'm to understand, there's a full explanation of everything because one or two people left a message to go look. She explained everything to detail, and I'm like, yeah. And sometimes when you give too much like that, and you're fully explaining personal,
Different life, baby. Different life.
yeah. So
Michael J says, "Is Santa really a
no,
pimp?
he's not.
Every year he's running around looking for a prostitute by a ho ho ho."
Yeah, sound like the Green Giant there.
Why
Ho, ho,
why
ho.
is Santa epileptic?
I have no idea.
Because he sees yours when you're sleeping. He sees yours when you're awake. He sees yours when you're bad and good. Evidence is in the song. Rest my case. Boom. Drop mine.
That was really good.
That's what she said.
Santa Claus is going to visit you today when you go upstairs and come back down those stairs.
Even those stairs.
Santa
Oh my gosh. Right?
Yeah. Gotta love the Philippines housing, some of it. Like we have 2 bedroom, 2 bathrooms. And we're lucky that we have a solid metal stair, like a rail that goes up. But don't some of them, we've seen tons of them where there's no rails at all. And
No,
there's
there's
scary things.
yeah,
Really super
there's some
steep.
and it's made out of wood and it's only supported by one beam.
It would go
I don't
down.
get those.
I'm just gonna put myself out there. Some of
No, I'm
those
not
I wouldn't
making
even
that up.
consider
I
going
just leaving a
up because
stair,
of
but anyway.
the width and the just forget about it. So it's like I always joke as George goes up and gets art
No, these
supplies
are
or he's
concrete
gaming
stairs.
or he's
Yes,
up
that's
on the
solid.
balcony, and so it's yeah. So it's really, I always joke about, yep. But get your Christmas. Da, 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 da. All right, yeah. So she asked about, was that the same one or
Yeah,
did you
yeah,
fall
no,
behind?
no,
Okay, so you're
no.
just
Remember when I click on this, I lose my spot.
you lose it. Yeah.
Ed says about 10 years ago, the U.S. news. This is real. Started watching little guys on YouTube, then stealing their topics, reporting their content on their own.
Yeah, this one. Yeah,
They still do.
okay, about 10 years ago, the U.S. major newscast, yeah, start watching. And here's the thing, it can be done as long as you guys change it. YouTube kind of suggests that you do that because look at Saturday Night Live. Everything they talk about is really basically a true story, but they turn it either morbid or funny or something in a weird style. I mean, they go all the way out on different things. It's the same thing. The only thing that I disagree is one that I literally seen where there's a social media attorney that went into just for social media recently full time. And she said there's 2 channels battling out in court right now. I think one has 800,000 and one the other. Every day she copies her outfit. If she's wearing like white jogging pants and a white like hoodie or something, to the T, wherever she goes. If she goes to McDonald's wearing that white outfit, this woman goes that far to copy it in her next video. And I'm like, that is strange. So everything, the topic, it is an exact copy. The other woman has no originality. Now that's a little insane. Covering topics, I know you guys have heard me say, oh my God, so and so's covering, immigration again on the visas. Who can actually do that? But as long as you put a spin and you actually are putting out a little bit more information, or maybe you have something to offer, then it's kind of fair game. So
Patrick says, "Merry Christmas from Geneva, Switzerland." There you go.
good
If you guys ever
morning and
want to know
happy
where
holidays.
Geneva Convention came from, there you go. Hey, Patrick.
Best chocolate on it.
Ed. Yes, actually, that's what you just said recently. Mary. Actually, I think it's called Mary.
Yeah, it's good chocolate.
Yeah, it's Mary. It's chocolate from Switzerland. We're not joking.
Yeah.
It says we are learning about Social Security from you guys. Thank you for sharing the info. Thank you so much, Ed. Thank you so much.
Well, there's so much more. We haven't put out a video in a while, and a lot of people don't know about the deposits. And a lot of people, not everybody keeps their houses back in the US and keep maintenance. They sell things, they were already renting and all that. So you have a lot of issues if you get locked out of your bank. So we still have a bank in the US. I just didn't want to keep having the main one that's connected with the card dealing with that stuff. We had our bank card replaced 3 times or 4. How many times do we have to have it sent
Three.
FedEx to make sure on a replacement if it gets bent or something
I
else?
believe it's 3, if that.
Yeah.
If that, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just there's all kinds of things. So in getting the direct deposit, there's a different way. Banking depends on your status here. And we do get a lot of people that message us in emails. And like I said, there's updates. And since the pandemic, there's been a boom of children. A lot of guys had kids here, don't get me wrong, with their Filipinas, but now it just seems like the amount of expats coming in and then marrying and having kids or not marrying and have kids, you know. So I really need to look into that, you know. Like I don't think I'm going to go into how to register them with the embassy. It's just something we don't cover, but Social Security is something that.
Right.
So yeah, but
Cindy G says, I took in a 16-year-old foster girl with a 1-year-old baby. The government money sent to her bank account was not spent on the baby as she got free items from all the churches in town.
wow.
Yes, her caseworker knew it all, obviously seeing $200, hair color, etc., nails every month. There is no government control. The caseworker told me that I have to pay whatever for the baby she does if she doesn't. This reality. Now, also the other part of the reality is okay. I get it that she has a
But there are people they forced to pay that government money back, so it
right.
seems like
It's
that.
that's what I was getting at. It's up to the caseworker. Really, it's the judgment of the caseworker.
Yeah, we're not saying it's going to happen, but if she wants to, I'm sure there may be other Filipinas that tell her, "Hey, don't worry about it; it'll never happen." And then it's kind of like other people that listen to advice and listen to advice. You know, if she hears it from somebody else or adheres to it, but it's not a paycheck, so it's an actual, and whether that offends her or not, it's I would just not that she's watching or anything. It's just
Right.
to any Filipina that's out there doing it. You don't want to hear later, like the tax thing. I mean, there are people that pay taxes a certain way, and then later down the road, they find out, how many people got hit on just side advice from friends, do this and do that. And then next thing you know, they're hit with audits and everything else. It's because it's just a little extreme, but it could happen. So it could happen to anybody on anything. Insurance, Social Security, you know. Yeah.
Rudy says Merry Christmas. Hey, Rudy, how you doing? Second one says I died this week, and my spirit is tapping here in your
Max.
vlog. Leonard Marlin, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Leonard. Sorry. Max says kids will grow anyway, rich or poor. These women know what they're facing, and when dating 70-year-old guys, her response. What Max is saying is she set herself up. That's up to her. She has to live up to it.
Yep.
And it's
Oh,
fair.
there's
It
no
makes
doubt
sense.
that she cared for him. I just don't know, according to their story where Mark and her did their things a few times, we looked at that a couple days ago before we went on the live and basically, went on about dating sites and all that. I'm like, oh, okay. And then it just went from there. And so it's not that it's a horrible thing. It's just she knew from the beginning where she was on that. And as I'm to understand that the type of surgery he had, them surgeries are limited. His health was limited. And there were all kinds of risks. Like when before he had the baby, go back and look at his content. Refer you back to go watch his content on all the things he said about all the things the trolls said and the people said about having a baby after a certain age. So much so, he did a video with a man that had like 4 kids. I don't know how many kids the guy had, but one of them did have Down syndrome and had some medical conditions. But there was so much concern about him having a baby over a certain age. Now, I don't know if he heard us say something. I don't know if he heard the next person. I don't know if there was a ton of comments, attacking him and otherwise, but we've heard just about everything during him having the kid, after him passing, in regards to, there's a kid left behind. Oh, he's going to be taking taxpayers' money. It just about everything came up, but it all comes down to responsibilities, and
Well, yeah,
it was a roll of the dice just at that age.
right, and again, like I said, I understand there's a lot of sympathy going to Jen, and as deservedly so.
Yeah.
But remember, she was aware when this happened, or when she, hooked up with Mark and all that. Kid Manuel says, "Does Heidi miss her country folks? Her howdy dowdy."
Sometimes, but not often. It's one of the reasons, a lot of people, when I said misfits, they were like, oh, well, that's you. You must have had some issues and financial, and we heard everything. I miss the people, but it was also the people. You guys think I'm bad. Try living in the US for a while. Okay. A lot of people like, oh, she's a typical Filipino, and that's coming from some Filipino, or typical American coming from other Filipinos. I'm like, yeah, compared to some, I'm actually a cakewalk. But it was the cost. It was the pandemic, where it wasn't worth being there at some point, versus the amount of savings we had, and it was either work for another, would we figure, another 10 years.
Yeah.
And the balance just came up. Time to split, time to go. And that's just where it is, the checks and whatever. But do I? Yes, I miss my family dearly. And, you know,
Yeah.
but as far as, I like every now and then sitting down with fellow men and other expats, but, you know, I'm okay with just George.
Oh.
Not really, but
T.R. Michael says, "Isn't it the goal to date a man 50 years older for a few years and come into money?" Hmm.
well, let's just say we all know the stories that are out there. And I said stories, okay, in regards to the women who date these guys. The more I feel that they go on air, which are a lot of these vloggers, oh, we're in love, and we're this, and we were super happy. We told you guys that the ones that profess that there's no big problem with the age gaps. It's funny, you'll hear 7, 8 other people that aren't vloggers that say, hey, this is going on, that's going on. That doesn't, I think a lot of it's being hidden, or I'm just calling it like you see it. There has to be issues. There's no perfect
No, there's going to be
relationship.
issues for a lot of reasons. Again, if there's a big giant age gap. I mean, in the US, if you date somebody who's that younger than you are, even in the US, there is a generational gap, and it's huge. It's really deep, guys, and you won't know until you actually dig into it.
I mean, I want you guys to ask yourself, and I'll use Mark and Jen being they're the most recent example. I mean, how do you think that actually really went, sitting around all the time?
Well, that's what I'm saying. They'll be just sitting there staring at the wall, or looking at the paint dry. Again,
Maybe she wanted to go to the mall or be on, do some vlogs, go out and do a bunch of stuff with her sister. What did he think of that? How they would run a household. Maybe he wants 3-minute eggs at this time and that, and get my newspaper and get in here, woman situation. Who knows how? But there is a big difference in generation. What are we, X or Z?
That's what I'm
Are we
trying to
Z or
say.
X?
Again, we have the age gap and the cultural gap.
Mm-hmm.
These are two big giant gaps that you have to confront. Now, it's one thing if you guys are somewhat within the same age, only because even then you still have a cultural gap and still an age gap, but not as deep.
Mm-hmm. And it's hard. Like me and George, you guys have seen us. We definitely, there's no age gap. I'm 3 year, well, there is a little bit, but there's a 3-year difference. I'm older. But although George spent quite a bit of his life in the US, we still find that cultural gap. I mean, sometimes I look at George, I was like, sometimes I forget you're Asian.
No, I do remind people usually, no, I'm Asian, right?
It's
But
yeah,
they do forget only because the way I speak and
so there's
behave.
always going to be
But
something, but
no, because like for example, when I talk to my daughter, she would even say stuff like, "Oh, you're up to date. You know what this," because she's expecting an age gap. And you get my point?
mhm.
Because some people don't have that ability to gap
And
that.
they've definitely, you can, but a lot of
Can it be done? Yes.
but there's a lot of failures in those
Not
marriages.
everybody can. Like,
And then a non-working
right.
person and a working person. and he still did YouTube. She still did YouTube. And then there was the point of when somebody's in the house all the time like that with each other. We tell you guys that's what goes on with us. It's just too much time together. It's you have to get out and do things, and so there's a lot of differences. There's no doubt. I believe these women, for the most part, we know that there are some that don't have good intentions as far as whether they love them or care. And even George made this comment this morning. He says, "Well, it doesn't mean that they're into that chicka bow 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 and just looking to bang all the time. And that's what
That'll
they're
only
up
carry
to."
you so far, guys
Right.
and
So,
girls. That'll
but
only carry you so
they
far.
could care for him like a father. I mean, there's no doubt there was devotion or caring. I just couldn't imagine the full connections that I had with George or that I had when I was 17 and 18 on my first relationship. I just can't see it being the same. Like you're not, yeah, I just can't see it.
Hmm?
But I'm just talking about like the full connections of, and then sometimes it's the age gap. Do they work? Yes. But if I was that age, I couldn't see starting over. But that's just me. I can't see having a
I
baby at that age, possibly marriage. But then you have the guys that are real butts here too, and
well,
the problem with that is they're also looking for a nurse and they use these women and they dog them and they're cheating on them. So, the swing swings both ways on some of the situations. The Filipinos get used to. So you got women like her, as I'm to understand, per the videos that she put out, she pretty much had, she, as I'm to understand,
well,
little to no
and
money
again, I'm not picking sides here, but I'm just gonna let you guys know how
and,
it is.
good opportunities and
And what I'm saying by
with the
picking
Filipinas.
sides, okay. So let's say you're a Westerner, you come here and get a Filipino or Filipina spouse. Okay. The key word is when you do that, especially if there's an age gap, you have to put in the work. Keyword work. It is work. You have to keep
Hey,
working on it.
Pablo.
Because here's the thing. And the reason why I'm saying I'm not
Oh,
taking
snap.
sides here, it's because
The Beanie Baby dilemma will be up in 5 minutes.
because you're the one coming here. It's your job to adapt to our culture.
Yeah, because are we talking about like the point like when I was here, I would say things like, "You need to help me with this, and that," and then you used to tell me, "Hey, that's for you to adjust." And
It's kind of like okay, like the that show, the 90 Day Fiance, when they gave him lechon, which is really rare and really a big deal for us.
it is
That
now.
he
Its price
spat it
was
out.
really, yeah, and the prices
You
have
can't do
substantially
that.
gone up. Yeah.
You're the one who's supposed to adjust to our culture, not because I'm being like I'm not trying.
Oh, adjusting the culture.
Right, because you.
Okay, I thought you
It's
were talking
not
about how to
because
adapt and.
yeah, it is. It's adapting. You have to adapt to the culture because you can't change the culture. I'm not
And you'll
taking
go through that
sides.
stage. I'll have to do
I'm
a
not taking
video.
sides
You will
because
try.
I am Filipino. I'm just telling you, well, you are in the Philippines.
Well, that and people will. For the first couple years I was here, I was having tizzy fits about everything. And I'm like, well, they should do this and they shouldn't be burning the trash and they shouldn't. And why aren't they picking up the trash? I think most expats go through that stage of where they feel they can change. I felt like we could save all the animals. I felt like we could save the homeless people. And you go through some sort of thing. But yeah, the Philippines will change you before you change the
Yeah, you can't.
Philippines.
Well, you can't change the Philippines. Period.
And you have to adjust and
It's like
learn to
okay.
adapt. I mean, there's like
For
4
example,
karaoke machines out there going
a
right
very
now.
simple example. This happened recently, and this is on a personal level. What happened to our delivery guy that you said not to?
I don't know which one we have.
Ashley. Okay, the delivery guy, great guy. Don't get me wrong, we don't have a problem with him, but he delivers to us like 4 or 5 times a day, which is unnecessary. All our previous delivery driver, waits
And
and
goes once
bundles
a day.
all of them and delivers once a day,
Yeah.
which makes sense for a delivery driver. He's optimized. He's like, okay, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, because it's cheaper to get like the flea pills from legit companies online and water filters and the things we
Yeah, it's
do.
like
So
Amazon in the
if you
US.
buy it, yeah, and if you buy it in the stores, now Amazon can be a little bit more expensive, but it tends to be for sure here now in the last couple years. If you try to buy this stuff in the store, it could cost you double the price on some
Right.
items. So we started doing more online stuff.
So Heidi again talked to the guy and says, "Okay, I don't feel too well. Why don't you just deliver once a day?" And because it's better that way. I'm not in a hurry. Just deliver it when you can, but just do it once a day.
Right.
Guess what? Didn't change it one bit. And I warned her. I said, "Okay, you can
No, I
try."
said it several times, and I gave him an extra tip. I gave him a few hundred pesos, and I thought maybe he understood. And usually, you wouldn't tip that much. And I was like, if you could just make the adjustment. And yep, sure enough, he still started coming around. But I don't know as much as there's just a lot.
Don't get me wrong. We like the guy. He just is very inefficient. He just comes over several times a day for no real.
And people have to figure out if they're going to be able to cut it or not. People keep asking me, there's no way I'd go back to the US. They would have to literally force me. And I mean that. I like being here. And do I have problems with things? Yeah, the Philippines is not perfect like any country. It's same as the US. It's if a Filipino went to the United States, they're going to deal with a lot of issues too. But a lot of people, we keep hearing things like, no way, kind of like with the Mark thing. It's like, no way I would be with subpar, medical, and how soon an ambulance shows up. And they go through all these different things. And it's things that I thought about. I'll tell you right now, I only figured about 50% of it out. I mean, I thought I had it all. Once I landed here and was here for a year or two, I'm like, dang, I didn't have any idea. We wish back then, and we're just not saying this, that there was somebody, Sunshine was one of them, that was putting truth serums out there. MYK was one that used to put out a bunch of truth. So it's just, I wish we'd have had more boots on the ground, and now everybody's regurgitating, and it just with a little bit of information. So it's just a lot going on.
Yeah,
I don't want to sound like scripted, like some of the channels where it's literally scripted. I there's just a lot of scripted channels, in my opinion.
You don't wanna.
No, because I don't like the ones that sit there and say, today we're going to cover the visas about, and I know I do them some, but I don't sit down and write a script. I don't sit there and write schedules down and plan things out. We don't. When it arises like it does now in the Social Security
for example,
thing,
this live, and none of it was. I don't even know what I was getting. You know what I'm saying? It's just.
Well, here's the thing.
It is what it is.
We will
Improv,
drop a couple like videos in between, but our lives are the things that we actually do, and so it's
I mean, it's dynamic that way.
you say
says born between the mid '60s and early '80s is Gen X. Yeah,
okay, Gen X.
Yeah, I forgot.
No, our children, yes. George's and mine, they've adapted, but I still think they're the ones. Like one time, my daughter said something about she was going to call somebody on her cell phone. I said, I wish you would pick up that phone. I said, I wish you would. Go ahead. Just different generations. My mother would have slapped me before I went. Me, I fair warned her. Now Bianca, with our grandson, is going to be like, She's going to be like, put that phone down. Just put it down. And she's going to reason with him, which is understandable. But it's a different generation. It went from one to the other to the next. And so it's a big difference in culture and how you're raised, the streetlight things and all the social media and the things they're seeing.
The kids, a lot of kids don't even know what streetlight means.
No, and here at least the kids still play outside. Like they were out there till 1, 2 in the morning, and nobody. I mean, they're watching them, but not watching them. And if you like are down on the streets and through the areas of Angeles and Mabalacat, you're going to see loose kids by the streets, and I'm like, there's no way. Right. Well, what I'm saying is the parents don't have them tethered. They know they know not to go in the traffic. That's just it. So it's yeah, that is for sure. Where were you at on this?
Right there. Next one that I set it up already.
The 70, the SNL, Ray Gun, Australian break dancers, the Olympics, right? What's up with that? They said there's some more stuff going on, that break dancing thing. Yeah. Yes, Bruce said he had to get a new bank card and credit card last July. Yeah, some have attempted it through the regular mail. Mail is just bad here. And I think initially, did we try UPS first before FedEx and miss that one, or they were all FedEx? Right. And so that was the best deal, but we did the 2 day versus overnight. Yeah, I wouldn't go with just they've got different levels, and I think it costs like $80, and that was I think the last one. How long ago was the last one? Yeah, so it takes a little bit, but we haven't had to do it in a while.
Austria will never do it again.
Well, no. Well, yeah, because the other account we actually just
Transferred
have
it over. Yes.
it can be transferred. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it was the one that we had, and then of course we have a credit card, but it's
Well, yeah. And Max did say again, once you're adult, you're on your own. Whatever you go on vacation to Afghanistan or marry a 70-year-old man and get pregnant, it's on you. Yes, once you're adult, again,
what's up with that statement?
he's saying it doesn't matter where you are.
Right,
Once
but
you're
it
an
was
adult,
okay. You didn't get the. I mean, he said Afghanistan specifically.
no, it's just an example.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, he says
That's not a reference.
go on vacation to Afghanistan or marry a 70-year-old man.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Example.
Right, he's saying it doesn't matter. Once you're an adult, doesn't matter where you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're an adult. You're an adult.
Yeah.
K Van C says Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, dingoes.
Dangos.
Dingoes to all.
The dango ate my baby.
When I first moved to the U.S., no, true story. They used to ask me, well, how was your life in the Philippines? What's it like there? I tell them, well, when I used to run barefoot with the dingoes, that's what I always say. And then they go like, really? And I'm like, really? Oh my God.
And a lot of people, for those that are new to the room, and there always is somebody new or doesn't hear other parts of our show, George had to remind me of that because in the beginning I used to say, stop repeating that. Like on air, I'd say that, but we forget, especially now.
There's a lot of
you could
new
only be in
people.
for the one time and never back again.
Right.
But George was an adult. He had already been engaged, had a baby, and was in his adult years when he went to the US. You started to California and you were there 28 years. But he spoke like this before he left. His daughter sounds exactly the same. You get some Filipinos and your friends. Some of them sound like that. So, but he has a lot of good knowledge about the US and here. So, he used to get a lot of flack in the beginning that he wasn't really Filipino. He was born in the US. What does he know about Angeles City? And he's nowhere near it. And we're like, dude, we're like a mile from the airport. We're like a mile and a half from Walking Street. We go in and out of that area, and pretty much this whole little section, including Mabalacat and Dow and all these areas are, it doesn't take long to trip into Angeles. So we are in the Angeles City area, and, there's so much to be learned. And so, you do have the knowledge. And so it's helped a lot of people. And a lot of people like, I wouldn't go to that dirty place. And it's like, it's not the whole area, guys. It is where the better hospitals are. There's a lot of nice places. You have Clark. A lot of guys go up on Clark, and there's a lot of things going on here.
So yesterday I was sitting in the I didn't get my camera in time, or my phone rather. I was sitting to wait up to gas up my car, right? And in front of me was a jeepney. A jeepney, again, is one of those transports that Filipinos use. They pack them like sardines.
You actually,
yeah.
I know most know.
I was behind him at the gas station, and I looked inside only because I couldn't help it. I'm just sitting there waiting my turn, right? There was a big American expat sitting inside the jeepney in the middle.
Was he like this?
Yeah, like you can tell. You can tell he's well. First off, you can tell
Mark, I think, is like 6'4",
he's
6'5".
white,
I'm 6
and
really
sticking
big
out, like literally sticking out of all the Filipinos. Like his legs are longer. Like
he used to make jokes in the market or in the mall.
He's in the jeepney. I was like,
you can always. It's funny.
There's an expat in the jeepney.
You used to say when he's in the mall, you'd say, I know how to find Heidi. You'd be like, there's Heidi. She's standing above everybody in her size, and I glow in the dark situation.
Correct. You see Heidi like literally a mile away, literally.
No, even some average size expats would still have hard times.
No. Heidi is literally like,
short compared to some.
If life was an RPG, I would pick Heidi, put it that way.
Role playing
game. Okay, you would stomp the enemy, literally.
Yeah, well, maybe not any. Well, yeah, probably.
Yeah. No, I'm not
Even
even
on my
joking about
bad
that.
days.
I'd pick my bets on Heidi. Again, if somebody breaks in the house, I'd be like, have at him. Just go get him, Heidi. I mean, not even gonna
Mm.
waste my time. Kate. Yeah. Pablo Chicano. Merry Christmas, George, Heidi, and Ricky.
Thank you.
Thank you
We
so
were
much. I
going
appreciate
to
the
do the
support.
Ricky character,
Thank you
but the
so
last
much. Appreciate
two
you.
live streams were, about Mark, and a lot of stuff was said in those. And so George says, yeah, this second one we can't dress up with Ricky, and we were going to bring in Ricky and Rachel. And so yes, there should be one. And you have a video coming out with Ricky sometime next week. You're still working on that.
Next year.
You've been gaming instead.
Well, it's literally next year.
I guess so. I guess you got me on that one. I don't know. I hesitated with George, and
It's
I'm like,
literally next year. It's like, guys, can you believe it? It's gonna be 2025.
the karaoke. It's when there's three or four machines going at the same time.
Unbelievable. 2025. Where did the year go?
Where did it go?
Literally, where did it go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that There's this old saying like 2025, where the year goal, where it stops. Only Mark Thornton knows. Anyway, you ever heard of that one?
No. But we did say, and it may offend even more, we said, good God, I don't want to be Mark Thornton or Eastman this year. So it said, be careful, expats. But it is true. If you think about it, you got to. I made a bet with George, and I'll go into the new year again trying to cut out more sugar. And that is my biggest downfall. And trying to get more off the steroids, I'm telling you, is not my friend right now, but it's needed for multiple medical conditions. And um, you got to do some cutout on some stuff. So no, that's okay. Can you please discuss emergency funds? How much and why? No, it's not a loaded question, but it is because I could have told you an amount a couple years ago. Really, technically, there is no real answer on that. You would need a multiple fold. So, um, I don't know. I couldn't even say you would need insurance. You would need savings. I would be setting a plane ticket aside. Told someone the other day 100,000, and even then you could run into issues. Because if you're moving over, I don't know if you're just coming over. Do you have a
Well, not
family?
to mention your health, current health. Some people are more prone, some are not.
So we came over with over 60,000, okay, and we got rid of everything, sold everything, and came over. Um, we have two streams of income besides George's YouTube, so technically it's three altogether, and we've blown through most of our savings already. So family emergencies, things with our kids, you can't hold on to that money. So life still happens, and George just turned 50 and I'm 53, so there's been guys that came with zero money, like Mark. He came with little to nothing, and there are people like the one expat John, 20,000, but he hooked up with a girl and he blew through the savings, building things, buying bikes, thought he could live until he got his Social Security. So really, there's really no answer. Each person will be
Well, yeah,
individual.
and again,
Some health insurance. Are you keeping residency and plan to fly back to get some medical? But that'll give you an idea.
well, not to mention again, depending on
I think it was closer to
emergency or
80,000, but that's
severity,
before we bought the tickets, the plane tickets, setting up the house, and so
right? Depending on
yeah.
again the severity and the condition, it varies. For example, again, um, let's say you're prone to asthma, you have breathing issues, and then you end up in a hospital for 3 days. A 3 day stay in a hospital on average would cost you 100,000 pesos.
And insurance usually doesn't
Okay,
pay up front. So even if you got
that's
good
with
in
the
certain
insurance already.
policies,
That's with the insurance
I
already
would check
paying.
out Michael Onstad,
So,
could set something up
so
like that.
without the insurance, it'll be 120,000. Okay, that's with
Well,
the insurance already. Now, if you have, for example, C19, and you stay there for a week, on average, it'll be 3 million whether you survive or not. It's about 3 million pesos.
Well,
So
or the single bypass could be 20, 25,000, maybe, depending on the
that's just
hospital.
the operation.
Single.
That doesn't include
Now, I could be
other
wrong.
expenses.
Rumors say that Mark had a quad or a multiple bypass, something like that. It's hard saying. So think about that. If with our, I think in the end, 60, 65,000, that would wipe out. And now we don't even have that. So then we're in the same boat. And that's why I felt that I could speak upon what's going on. If even one person listens, this may be a sinking ship. This may be a sinking ship too. Okay. But if one person will listen about getting a little bit more health insurance, saving a little bit more money, and taking their time and slow your roll before you come over, then we've both done something, because it surely isn't over the amount of money, or it's not about fame, but we want somebody to listen. But one medical issue will wipe you out, and it does most guys.
Correct.
Some of these homeless guys is because of that, or because their checks got stopped, and people think they're invincible when they get here, and it's
Yeah, again, we have everything planned already. For example, Heidi, she has lupus. She has a lot of medical conditions. We do have her on IDKH coverage, so we're already covered on that one.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, again, Michael Onson's the guy to go to for your insurance needs. If you want the IDKH coverage, just ask him.
Is that a term for your gaming or I don't know coverage?
I don't know her.
Pretty much. But basically, there are guys here with none. They gave up on their Medicare and all these other things, and they have zero plans but just to do what happens, and they pass away in their condos
They
or
literally
their
tell
home.
their partners, just tell them I don't know you.
And then there's believe me, not everybody's prepared, and not everybody will or even take any advice. It's just
Correct.
Yeah. They just watch to watch, and it's which hey,
When in doubt, zip it.
everybody, yeah, when everybody will make their decision. A lot of people are,
Mhm.
I would say we were about 60% prepared when we came here. I thought we had it all under control, and I don't think anybody ever does. So,
George says, Merry Christmas all. Hey,
hey,
George,
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
Now, Ed, this is very true. Ed says this year, especially, there are about 50 vloggers out there that publish as many short and long stories as they can. The goal is most videos and dominate these guys. Literally, this is real. They copy each other's stories. This
Yes,
is very true.
well, yeah, that's normal.
Yeah.
And YouTube tells them to. TikTok does. Yes.
Yeah, Shane says my emergency funds is 1 million pesos.
Okay,
That's
it's
enough for a
20,000.
double heart bypass and go back home and get set
I
up.
doubt it. 20,000 will not cover that now. That amount was years ago, unless you're going to a public hospital or costs have changed. So if you're getting that information online, these costs have gone up substantially. So, and not for a double. I think that was single for 20,000.
Yeah.
So
Now this is
give or take. I mean, I don't have an exact amount, but I know that but definitely have the ticket money. And here's the thing people forget, and this is the biggest scary thing for me with my lupus and the other medical conditions I have, there may be a chance that I can't be patched up to be put on a plane. So then you're just stuck anyway. So if it's a really bad month and my platelets are down and all this, and I can barely walk, then there's a problem. And health conditions deteriorate. I have a lot of good days, and then I have the bad days. So if something all of a sudden the bottom drops out, getting that done or getting there, okay, people make the money plan, but even if you're in the city, it's going to be a matter when that ambulance is going to come get ambulance, and when it actually comes and gets them.
ambulance.
There's so many different what ifs that you may not deal with in the US that would actually be here. So that would be like some of the hospitals are literally closed and they don't have staff on like they do
No, that happens.
in the US. So
And they'll make you sit outside and wait. No,
you could be
I'm not
sitting
joking.
outside waiting with that type
It
of
happens. Depending on the hospital and depending on your
in
coverage.
the area.
Yeah, and depending on who you know.
That-
It helps if you know doctors, to be honest with you.
George said he's just going to dump me off skadoosh, or he's going to run up and he says, that big woman right there's got a lot of money. Will you take care of her? And then that'd be it like there, which isn't true, but he's just going to play it out. They just going to see me and they're going to like, that woman eats a lot of Oreos.
I'm just
I
gonna
bet she's
skadoosh
full of
you at the
money.
bridge.
I bet you do.
Skadoosh.
Let the ants eat me. Gotta have a plan.
I would.
Ant eater. I was an ant. I was.
I don't know about the ants. I mean, I'd hate to be like platform two, but you know,
Although I'm just going to be a little stranger on that. If I show up with other Filipinos, I'm not trying to say I'm better than anybody else. They're more likely to take me in as an expat at a few of these hospitals before they would the one. Hmm.
huh?
As an expat, they wouldn't take me in sooner than later. They would leave me outside on the bench. They could be. I may not get any
That's what
priority
they
at all.
did to what's his name?
Could be. So,
He sat outside on a plastic chair and slept on it.
oh, here I'll check. Hey, Tony.
That was my name, right?
Well, I'll check here in a minute, but we can
Jeffrey
still.
Wilson says I'll never go over the. Oh, I'll never go over the look on Jen's face unboxing all those Beanie
I
Babies.
said coming up in 5 minutes.
she was
She really was disappointed.
she was
I'm sure
disappointed.
she can come
Her
up
heart was
with
broken.
a better look, but I mean,
No, that was a
the
okay.
unboxing was a trip.
That was now whether it's intentional or not. I'm sure it's intentional. Because again, when somebody sends a like buy box, Filipinos expect, of course, chips, popcorn, shoes, clothes, some electronics here and there, some makeup, that kind of deal. Spam, they love spam. But no, it was just a
Everything
box of
in there
Beanie
was
Babies.
used, and when she was unboxing photos,
Oh
there were
my
photos of
gosh.
him. There were photos,
Wasn't
and
there photos of his ex?
yes,
That's what I'm
and
saying.
women on the
Photos,
cruise ship and stuff.
correct.
There was everything.
No
He didn't.
woman wants to see this.
No, and let's just say, so I was just holding on to a thread. I just liked you, guy.
Okay, now speaking
Did
of
you really
no
have?
one wants to see this. For example, honestly, this is how it really happened, and I'm kind of upset with Heidi when she did it. She has tons of personal photos of her. No, okay,
Say who they were.
okay. But either way, she destroyed them, and I was really upset over it because
Yeah.
I knew those photos were irrecoverable. But point being, nobody wants to see that. Nobody,
Well, yeah, no, it's but no, everything that the whole point is if that was me here, and let's say I was sitting over here and I was Filipino and I'm waiting for George to, come over, or he sent me boxes and it was all of his personal old stuff and he didn't send anything. I mean, maybe he didn't show his other boxes of what possibly came. It's possible. Remember, people show you what they actually want you to see in the YouTube world, and but everything in there was definitely old stuff. All he did was pack up his mother's house allegedly of his stuff and shipped it over. And I think maybe she was expecting a bunch
well,
of
that's what
new
I'm
baby
saying. She
stuff, and
expected
I
stuff,
would have. I would have been wanting new baby clothes and
not stuff for him, but stuff for her.
right. That's where I'd have been.
He should
So
have given
and we
her a
could be wrong.
warning.
We could be wrong.
Well, we could be wrong, but I'm saying he should have given her a warning. Hey, by the way, there's nothing there for you. Don't get too
Okay,
excited.
you got up. I didn't. So that's where I'm at.
Oh, well. Anyway,
What?
exactly.
Yeah, you don't care.
Sandwich. Sandwich.
You're not getting none of that. I promise you.
All
You
right.
ain't getting none of this. You ain't getting none of more of that you got this morning. Why I said I quit. I quit this morning because it
Ruby's
took too
getting
long.
some. Hi, Ruby.
This is not an amusement park, and I'm not gonna sit up in there for 2-3 hours. This isn't a paid job. Nothing. I was done with you, so I did quit this morning.
Pablo Chicano
Literally.
is asking, is Ricky married to a Filipino?
Yeah, no, Ricky is single. Oh, is he? What's Ricky do?
Dang, you ain't right. Pablo Chicano says, I hope their young Filipinos get some dough when their ancient, his words, not mine, ancient husband croaks.
Well,
Wow.
not all of them, but I'm guessing when people are always talking about 10 percenters, it might be about 10% of guys because I think a lot of them come here broke. I'm broke, so I know. I call it out like I see it. A lot of the guys coming here don't have the full finances. And I think, like me, I didn't have a ton of savings to do a big retirement. All right. So you're at a point in your life where you can go and spend island time and live cheaper and maybe be with some nicer people, have ideals in your head, and they get over here. Stuff happens. And a lot of them don't have money. They live a basic life. Here's the thing, though: most of them, even at the amount of their checks, can do pretty good here
Oh yeah, yeah,
within a
yeah.
budget. But the emergencies could wipe them out.
No, emergency will wipe you out.
Yeah.
Second one says Merry Christmas to all. Pablo Chiana says taking a
Hi,
nap ruins
Ruby.
my sleep. I'm 65. Ruby says remember mixed marriages have cultural adjustments in both sides.
It's
It's
true,
not just
Ruby.
no, it's not. But most of the adjustment has to come from whoever's not in that country because you can't change the country.
Right. And for us, you had not been back to the Philippines for quite some
That
time,
has
so it
nothing
was
to
a
do
little bit
with
of.
our relationship. You're the one who have to adjust to the culture.
No, I get that, but you had some adjustments yourself
Actually, it makes it worse for you. You know why?
because you're still trying to get your crap together.
No, because I was already Americanized.
Well, yes, that's what I mean. It's been a little. That's what I've been trying to tell people is you were really
I'm Americanized,
Americanized,
but
but you're
I still know my culture and I know
no.
how
But there
people
was a
behave.
lot to learn. Don't tell me you knew exactly everything when you hit the ground. There was new things to learn, of course.
New, but not new. I mean, new words and stuff for the most part. Still
Do
the
you know
same.
about Gcash?
That's.
Don't.
I mean, that has nothing to do with again culture. That's
You keep saying
technology.
culture. I'm talking about the whole thing of living here. Culture, moving here. There were a lot of different things. There's
Okay.
an okay. I'm not.
Just
I'm done.
okay. You're talking about an app
I'm
that again, anywhere in the world. Again, whether
okay.
there's a form of it in the U.S. and you even said it
I'm not
yourself.
going to debate culture and what was learning. I was just saying it separately. So I'm gonna let you have that one. And
Well, you're the one questioning again.
I'm
Did I
not
come here
questioning.
be able to find apartments and stuff? Yes. Am I able to find whatever we need? Yes. Did I need any apps for that or Google? No.
No, you didn't.
Because
There was
guess
still an
what? It's
adjustment.
yeah,
Culture, I
but
gave it to you. You're
it's
right.
a minor adjustment. It's just have to get used to the newer. It's actually not even culture. It's generational. Because most
Okay.
of the adjustments I
I
adjust
said
to is
different
the kids,
generation, the
the
new people.
Filipino kids
Correct. New
versus
people. There was
the
still an
older people.
adjustment.
When I spoke to them,
Lots of
they
adjustments
even
is
agreed
going
to me.
on.
Yeah, it's the kids nowadays. You know how they
Yeah,
are.
there's just adjustments all the way around.
Right.
People don't
But
they don't
don't say I don't know my culture because I do. Actually, I know my culture more than the ones now because the ones now think that their culture is what they see on the internet. I even tell Heidi I am actually bringing back the old culture of my country because the people now forgot,
no, that's true. That's true.
and they did. It's
Mhm.
like because they always look at me when I'm very welcoming and everything. They're like, "Why are you like that?" I said,
Because
"We
you're the older
we
respond.
were like that.
Yeah.
Now the newer generation don't give a shit."
And I don't think people account for that when they come here and their woman's 25 or 30 and they're dating younger women, especially when it's been on apps and stuff. And then they get here in person or they're here in the Philippines and they start dating somebody. It's
Right. Like for example, when you and me in New Year's, we got invited. We were just walking by and we got invited. Hey, come here, sit with us. That's the old, real
a chosen
Filipino
one.
culture. But guess what? The newer generation is not going to do that for us. The ones that did us are because they're older. You know what I'm saying? They're older generation Filipinos. That's the real Filipino culture. Not the new ones that don't give a shit, that won't invite you in.
Yeah. That is true. Max said further down, guys be spending on street girls, but they neglect medical insurance. Some cannot be insured. I mean, let's just be realistic. Insuring somebody after a certain age, most of them have some sort of medical conditions, and a lot of these guys do. But they want to come for different reasons, or like me, it's cheaper to live here. You roll the dice just from stepping outside of the country. So yes, it is strange what they'll spend money on and what they won't. Same guys. I was just telling George, we just watched the live stream where they were dropping expats. Some of them were even in the country with channels dropping sticker money, $50 here, $100 there, and it's. But they neglect their own personal stuff, whether it's in the U.S. or here. Over, it's everybody spins that money. Uh,
Yeah, Ruby says, remember here in the Philippines, going to emergency and private hospital will demand deposit payments before they take you in. Otherwise, you'll be directed to public emergency
That's
hospitals.
true. Yep.
Ruby says, just set up Gcash account and took 3 days to be activated. Most establishments here take only accept Gcash in my payments.
Yeah, and that, I mean, it does depend on where you go as far as, because PH Prepper was saying that, not in all cases. Depends on where. But for the most part, yes, payments will be expected along the way or how you're actually upfront.
Huh. CBGB
So,
says,
yeah. Hey, CB.
is
Is the
it
pity party for Captain Thornton finally over? Not happy about my tax dollars going to support the spawn, but it's the way it goes. There's a lot of guys with kids here where the checks are actually going, and
now? Chosen One has a point, and this is one of my problems with the administration and still ongoing. Not the current administration; it's existed for a while. Chosen One says at least he's a U.S. citizen. I'm waiting on mass deportation videos. Again, I'm not against immigration, but somehow illegal, keyword, illegal immigrants do get a ton of taxpayer dollars in assistance. And I mean a ton of it.
here's my thing. I'm about to offend a lot of people, and I really don't care. I'm kind of on that mass. If he's making reference, and this will make other people squirm, if he's making a reference, at least Jen's kid or Mark and Jen's kid is a U.S. citizen that's never been there, wasn't born there, just based on his dad's citizenship, and then he's collecting a check. Yes, the ones that are in the country, that are getting checks also. Honestly, I think they've even talked about wiping all those checks out, including the ones here. And there's a mass amount of money going out um, for that. And I get that. It's a lot of money.
Okay, now this is somewhat of a different topic. There's also saying that actually expats do have offspring just to get that extra money. I'm not directing it at anybody in particular, but
Well, I just
some of them again. There's a few of them.
I mean, I guess if he actually took him to the U.S. and he was there X amount of time, and then he passed away in say 15 years, the last couple of years while he was in high school, he got a check to help with expenses. But I don't know where. And a lot of people say about me, I earned my Social Security, and my blood, sweat, and tears went into the country too all these years. This is a kid or kids from other people. This is not just specifically him, that the guys are just here having kids, some are passing away, then the kids are getting checks, and these women have two, three kids, are collecting these checks, and it's a lot. And it's not just here in the Philippines though. There are other countries that they are, and some of the kids never set foot in the US. It was just based on their dad, so making them half, you know, Filipino, half Thai, and American. I get it, and I get a lot of people say, "Well, I want my kid to have a check and all this and that." Just checks are going out all over for extra people, but they're not taking care of the people in the U.S. They're not taking care of the older retirees that were teachers and all these other people. They're not taking care of the veterans, which pisses me off to no end. And all of this stuff over foreigners and the extras to me is extras, and it can piss off whoever they want. But I just think all that, don't get into politics too much. We have, but you get all the extras when they're talking about shutting the government down all the time. That's fine.
Right, and that's another thing. Yeah, so you'd rather support these illegal immigrants and their offspring, keyword, and their offspring that are not American citizens.
I think
And
the
then
offsprings
and then they
outside
do
of
a
the
government
U.S. is
shutdown,
still.
which most of them, keyword, government shutdown. What does that mean? Federal. What's the federal mean? These are American citizens. Now you're cutting their pay and their jobs because of mismanagement of the government money. Again,
The extra tax on the taxpayers. It's the taxpayers that are
and I
paying
have a lot of
currently
friends that
for.
are government employees, and you see them struggle for 2-3 weeks, how long ever the shutdown is, and they haven't done anything wrong.
Well, some people in public office have talked about
They
their
give the money
grandparents, how they lived on little to no
to the
money, and that
illegals
was
and their
my
offspring.
fear in older age. I didn't do well in life as far as tons of savings. I had to cut into 401ks, and not everybody plans and not everybody has the golden spoon in their mouth or had all this extra help. I had to hustle, baby, and that's where it is. But I think these hustle babies that are over here that are having kids, and then it's just a thing for me, and the veterans not being taken care of, or the elder and the other programs and the schooling. They cut everything out of the schools in the U.S. But let's send a check over here to a Amritian. Just where I am on that one. That is my opinion. I'm sticking to that one. You heard it from the horse's mouth this time. It's not a anger factor as much as it is what is right and what's not. So
Well, I guess that's where again, there's several again opinions on that one.
because most guys after a certain age weren't having kids anyways. And so now they are, and I get it, and it's legit. But some of the guys have severely milked the
Well,
system,
some of the
knowing it.
guys, yes, they
Two,
do
three
count.
kids, knowing they're
They
going
know.
64. They've had multiple medical conditions that are definitely going to end them in a few years, and then they have another kid, and then it's like,
Yeah, and I hate to say it, there are a few vloggers that do this, and
now
they're not obvious about it, but you can tell.
well, and then of course people then want to fall into the guidelines of all the people on, food assistance, like the foreigners are over in the U.S. that are collecting it, and then all that, and they're milking the system. So why not? But it's just another one of those things. I believe a long time ago they started limiting that stuff, and I get that if it's a crutch and they're supposed to be, there's ways to work around the entire thing. But other countries nip that stuff in the bud, but the U.S. is not. So yeah, and you definitely ain't going to get it here. If all of a sudden I was to become knocked up and have a kid, all of a sudden, and surprise, women in their 60s have, you think the government's going to give me a check when you fall down the stairs next week? You think someone's going to give me money if I say, hey, open a PayPal account and give me, oh, Heidi wasn't a sweet person. She wasn't that. No, I'm not Miss Sweet Chest. So I guess nobody's going to send me money when you fall down the stairs next week at 3 o'clock. The answer is no. The government ain't going to give me a payment.
The government ain't going to do
They ain't going to give me no
squat.
payment. I'll be lucky if they even spit on me if it's hot or something. That's just the way it is.
You're on fire.
Just because it's hot.
No.
But I mean, I get it. That's why the country is. And on the side note, before we get up out of here, what is the deal? And I know they'll just say it's rumors, but I've seen several stations cover. They're talking about making Canada part of the U.S. And what else was it? I told you the other countries, New Zealand, and another one. They're talking about taking a couple of the countries and now adding it to part of the U.S. Do you think Trump can do that? Is that a real deal?
It's not really up to him. It takes more than that.
Well, I get that, but
I don't think so.
You mean I could be a Canadian citizen?
I don't think so.
I can do a whole song about me and regular guy.
And regular guy. Technically, if that happens, you're still an American citizen. It's the other way around. It would be, for example,
look at me, hey, I'm a Canadian today.
It's not gonna happen.
I'm a New Zealander.
That's not gonna happen either. You got it backwards.
You killing my dream.
If whichever country is bigger that assimilates, that's the nationality. But you're born in the U.S., therefore you'll stay a U.S. citizen no matter what country that America decides to take over.
Don't kill my dream because I didn't.
Now, if you're a New Zealander and America takes over New Zealand, then yeah, I would say yes, you'd be an American citizen, not the other way around.
Okay, so I'm not Canadian.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like Puerto Rican, American citizens, but technically.
I got part Filipino in me this morning for about an hour. And then I become an American today.
That's a different kind of assimilation there. I mean, just saying. Jesus. Max says, for Europeans, it's normal to have
Filipino American.
right free healthcare, and we don't need to have any medical insurance. When we're arriving in Asia, we expect the same. Surprise! And it's not.
We
There
have
you
free
go.
healthcare in the U.S. Yep.
Did I read this? Right on. I'm fed up with illegal people and kids as taxpayers pay for in America. Correct. Hopefully, President Trump will do something. We are the only country that does such stupidity.
I'm one of those people, and never been hidden about me being like I was not the richest person. And when I was in between jobs and I tried to get food assistance, it was all limited. The one time that I applied, they gave me X amount of months to actually to collect, and you had to actively go for work as you should. Look, babe, look.
Oh my goodness. Take a picture. Take a picture.
I can't. Hold on.
It's right there. It's right
The
there.
iPhone.
Why the iPhone? You have a better. All right. Well, let me talk about this.
Yeah. So, anyways, they gave me a hard time about the one time, and it's kind of like, are you kidding me right now? I am.
Focus. All right.
The puppy's being cute.
I'm telling you, my mom collected SSI for 8 years before she died. That was the end of the payments. No, you took too long.
Just let me use the iPhone.
Anyway.
Anyways.
Chosen One says, and don't send another dime to Ukraine. And I want my Panama Canal back. There you go. Now, for those of you know, I'm not going to go deep in this. You guys, just so you know, the Ukraine thing is a political thing.
Oh, CBGB.
Yeah.
You know, you give me some vibes of certain
and that's
people.
why there's money sent there for political reasons, or who used to be in power. Anyway, CBGB says, let Mark's U.S. family support his wreckage. There you go.
No.
Jennifer Wilson, is there any way Mark's son could be a U.S. citizen? Actually, he is. He is. He is a U.S. citizen.
According to sources. Now, I haven't watched this new video that Jen has uploaded on her channel that's allegedly out there. Did she say that was fully done? Several sources said it never got completed. He said there was some sort of delay. Maybe they went back. Don't know. Can't say. But if he is, then yes, that makes him a U.S. citizen if he has his passport and it was all completed. But I'm old school. Does that really make him an American citizen that may never go to the U.S. ever? And from a few year relationship spawns a check all of a sudden. That's where any kid, just not that situation. Okay. Offend or not, I'm pretty sure there's a lot more people. It's kind of a fine line of yes, he deserves it. There he is. Blah 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 blah. I understand the ones that, let's say, that you know George was in the Iraqi, I can't say the conflict, and I went over there to see him, and we banged everywhere, and I ended up pregnant. Decided I'm just going to hang out there a little bit and just chill and sit in the sand, put my feet in there. I'm gonna chill, and I'm gonna have my kid there, and then the kid was born American.
Now, here's the thing. Okay,
you can serve as a Filipino.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is my two cents.
But over there, and then
you may or may not agree with me because again, this is somewhat controversial in nature. For instance, for example, let's say Mark Thornton. Okay.
Still raining.
Okay. Let's say Mark Thornton bangs some girl down the street over here and had a child.
Hey, D-man.
Should they be a U.S. citizen? In my opinion, no. Okay. Again, listen. Now, if let's say Mark Thornton was a U.S. soldier, banged a girl in a U.S. base in the Philippines, should that child be a U.S. citizen? Yes. You know what the difference is? Service. Because he earned service. He earned that right to have his child to be an American citizen because he is again basically putting up his life as a deposit. Like say, hey, here I am giving my service. There's a chance I might,
I gave service this morning. Can I get some extra check?
Oh, you're a citizen, all right. But you guys get my picture. Now that's my 2 cents. It, of course, obviously. What happened there? He just fell off. He just fell off.
That looks more like a cookie face knocked and swiped and then ate the string.
Yeah, no, that's one of our ornaments. So.
Yeah,
But that's my 2 cents, guys.
these
Again, I
are
mean,
really cute.
if you're in the service and then you have a child, that kind of deal, that's different versus somebody just
Oh, and
having a
I'm
child.
sure whatever Filipina or whoever hears us, they're like, "Oh, how dare that woman?" and blah blah blah. No, it's truth. If it gets to any of you that watch this channel, there's a lot of truth to it. And I've already admitted whatever my deals are, so it's like at least admit it, be about it. Because someone the other day tried to confront us on Mark's situation of Ground Zero, and it was total denial on his part. He's the one that put that video out. He's the one that tried to gouge Dexter's eyes out all the way around. It was
Now
100%
remember,
wrong.
this is Mark Thornton actually
The
admitting
video, right? He
and
put his
telling
own
this,
video out, and now
just so
all of
you
a
guys
sudden,
know.
this is like some sort of the stuff that he put out, like the cruise ship collecting of money and all these things that are out there. All of a sudden, it goes onto the shoulder of people because all of a sudden he passed away. I get it. There's a form of respect and everything, but he didn't respect his eyes when he was trying to take his eyes out. He went kicking out the door. It was showed in different angles, and people at Ground Zero talking to other vloggers and people said that there was some nasty stuff coming from the man that day. That's not even rumor. I get people make mistakes. What he should have done is just when this last court hearing thing was set up, instead of going in, oh, I'm not guilty, it was self defense. No, sorry. Where's the self defense for old Zoom that sat in the jail that allegedly something happened and possibly he's the one that turned in the paperwork over their confrontation and everything? There's all kinds of stuff that's been out there, but I digress on the situation of Ground Zero. He should have apologized. So
Now, okay, now the Ground Zero thing. Okay, just real quick, without getting too deep in it, he again,
Merry
Mark
Christmas, you
Thornton
filthy animals.
did admit to it. Okay, he did admit to it openly, and it is on camera. Whether or not who's at fault, it doesn't matter. He was still the first one to throw the punch. But anyway, let's forget that. And we're not talking about that. Let's talk about the cruise ship. Just real quick. I want to know in the crowd who's at fault. The one asking for money for the cruise ship or the one that fell for it? Because the moment I heard the cruise ship story, I was like, "What the freak? That's impossible. I'm not gonna give you squat." So
Mhm.
who's really at fault? The one
And
asking
there's
for
a lot of
money
other things
for the
that aren't
cruise
out
ship,
there that
or the one that fell for it? I mean, that's like me going to you guys
or
and
who's the
asking,
one in
"Hey guys,
social
I'm gonna go buy
media.
Trump Towers." You know what I'm saying? Who's
Some,
at fault? The ones
yeah.
giving me money
Hmm.
or me?
And honestly, nobody's going to feel sorry for me. I've got a pass 100%, didn't deny it. Okay, next. But it's it comes down to the whole situation that
Right.
him and Jen put themselves and that baby. I keep hearing this stuff about that
Yeah,
photo.
everything is
Sorry.
all in the
You put
situation
that
because of the players.
and she
Correct.
did those videos where she walks around in front of a camera and puts her baby on there, and that is on her being in social media. There is none of that. If offense is taken and all that, it's like, really, you need to take time and take time off.
Well, you shouldn't be on social media if you have onion skin. Just saying.
Just
It's
where it
really
is.
not for everybody. It really isn't.
Did anybody? I haven't seen that video. That was on her channel, right? We're probably covering this anyways, but I don't even know if I'll watch it. Heidi is the ornament for George's tree. Yeah, I was hanging on that wood this morning, just dangling.
Yeah, D-Man says, "Hi, George is your Christmas orient."
Oh, God have
Yeah. Hey, Victor, Merry
mercy if you
Christmas.
say Orient female to the newer generation here. I keep seeing
Oh, here's
Orient.
another thing. Jennifer Wilson says, "What happens to my cruise ship shares?" And
And they're like
Steve,
all defensive over there. As I'm to understand, I get that he had friend, but not all 88,000. People only have so many friends.
those aren't real friends.
A
Those aren't
lot of
real
them were
friends.
looking, they got channels themselves, or there was benefit to it,
A
or
lot of them are
something.
fake. A lot of them are bots.
He
A
has
lot of them are
friends, that's
trolls.
fine. But the more that side defends, the more it's kind of hard to believe. And then all of a sudden, when this happens, it's like, oh, yeah, everything just disappeared. But again, They cover Diddy when he's good, and they cover him when he's bad. The same here. I know you guys don't expect me to sit there and put together the full works. You guys ain't gonna do it for me, and I don't expect it.
CBGB says, Jennifer, you will be reimbursed by the Thornton estate for your cruise ship
anybody
shares.
know on what's going to happen? As I'm to understand, they're going to try to proceed, but I don't know. Honestly, I'm not going to pretend I know the law about procedures on cases dropping. A lot of people say yes because he's passed, it'll all drop, but we know estates that are attached to whatever estate there is, the Beanie Bear estate, or whatever estate she's. If they had a good estate, she wouldn't even be applying for the Social Security.
Right. Jose Rodriguez says, okay, this is coming from the other side of the coin. I was born abroad, the Dominican Republic in '76. One of the best things is having dual citizenship. Now I get I get what you're saying, but my father was a legal citizen and worked hard and did it the legal way.
Let's see.
No, he did. Everything's right.
I was born abroad, same thing.
Yeah, he's just saying that his father was a U.S. citizen and therefore he has dual citizenship.
But he said he worked hard. Was that for the U.S.? His dad was Dominican?
Yes. To my understanding, reading between the lines, he was a Dominican Republican and then earned his U.S. citizenship, became a U.S. citizen, and then Jose was born out of it.
Yeah.
Correct. Ruby says expats are planning to rent a place in the Philippines. Look for one level only. Very important. Don't look for ones with stairs. Next place, guys. Very true. Avoid at all costs 2 stories because of accidents happen a lot. Wait, what?
On Wednesday at 3:00.
There you go. Of falling down and slipping.
No, that's a real thing.
It's a real thing, and
a lot of stairs there.
I admit I'm guilty of this. I literally run up and down the stairs. Even in public, I literally run up and down the stairs. I don't know why. I just want to get it over with, so I run. I used to do it on escalators in the mall, but everybody's stairs, so I stopped doing it. But anyway, yeah.
No, it's a real thing. I live in the ice cream, or I live in the ice cream. I live in the kitchen by where the freezer is, where the ice cream is. So that's where I live, in the kitchen. True story.
Yeah. Ruby says. Now again, Jose, no offense to you, but this is a real thing. Here in the Philippines, probably Dominican Republic, probably the same thing. This is like flashback of the era where the U.S. bases were here. Plenty of abandoned American kids in the Philippines.
So yeah, think about the balance of the guys, and I know they don't really have something to do with each other, but they don't. It's just the balance of the guys coming here, restarting a life with younger women, because you're not going to do that in the U.S. in your 50s, 60s. So you're having kids. These guys are, what do you call it? Pumping, dumpy and all that. And then the result is that, and some of them don't get to collect checks. There's a lot of them that go with absolute nothing. So is that fair to the other kids that aren't getting checks? Right.
Right.
So it's, there's that side of it too. It's very sad. Like zero responsibility won't. I just don't get it. You know what? Take this offensive all you want. They ought to neuter you guys before you come over. Heidi for president. Is she in that bag? Oh, was she sleeping in there?
No, she just did it just now. She just
got caught in one of the cats. Yeah,
one of the Christmas bag.
Babe, don't let her hurt herself.
No, she's free already.
Okay. Yeah,
it's just a bag. I mean, it's not like she's trapped in it. But yeah, no, I mean, I kind of joke on that half-heartedly, but I just don't get it. I can't see it being the average person's dream to say, hey, I'm going to go to the Philippines and have kids when they're in their 60s. Some of them already have 2 different families. They're into their 3rd or 4th marriage, truth, at that age. And I just can't see it. It's, I'm madly in love and I must have kids and experience. And I get the wife does too, but then it just puts a responsibility level. And then after that, they know they're going to be gone in 5 years. Look at Mark. If he would have waited to collect his check, how long did he collect his check? And you said that. How long? 7 years after they usually collect? 70 would have been nice. So
He just had a birthday in November, so it's just an eye opener. Sorry, Mark and estate and family and your little friends over there, but it's the truth. It's rough, and guys really need to consider it. And if one person says, "Not today, lady, we're getting you fixed, or I'm getting fixed," then so be it.
Right. No, no, Jose, we're not talking about you again. We're talking about like not your dad. People that again that come to different countries and have kids and then abandon them. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it sounds like your dad worked hard, and but it's still it's actually where it is in this day and age. Honestly, the government needs to stay focused on, and even up to me losing my disability, but that includes everybody on disability. It needs to go back to the original pensioners, and then I need to wait till I'm 62. That's even to that point, and I've said that before. It's down to those and the veterans and the people that have served, and all of that is what's deserved. And they give a lot of checks to in the US, and this is offensive too, on people that were born into disabilities that never worked. If the government is going to start at the bottom, they got to start somewhere, including my check, and I'm paid into it. They're just going to make me, they would make me wait. So I've said that before.
Well, not to mention the older you are, the higher probability that your child is disabled
Well,
or
yeah,
will
there
have
are
some
some
form of
couples
disability.
up there in age that have kids and end up with medical issues and all that, and then they end up with checks. They
Hmm.
never worked, and they collect them for the rest of their lives. It costs money. But I mean, you just
It's not about the money, really. It's just about how things are managed.
yeah, it's a dime here, a dime there.
I mean,
Offensively say, not taken. Next.
oh my gosh. Jose says no. I agree with
I'm
you
definitely
guys
not having kids
on
that
that.
late.
On that, like that deaf girl that got pregnant by that Canadian that was 52.
Was he? I didn't know how old he was. But yes, that is. And now he wants to give her $40 a month. But here's the thing, maybe in another year or two he'll have a heart, maybe come back around, marry her maybe, or I don't know. I'm really gonna have to check into it. Do unmarried people get checks for their kids? Can she apply for his if he gets any money from Canada? Or what about an American if that happens
Well, let's see. That's
unmarried?
the thing. Does child support
I'd have to
exist here?
look again.
Yes, but enforcement is a different story, especially from a guy from a different country.
Mm, but $40, it's I don't know.
Well, it's kind of like the U.S. I mean, they can pass child support judgment on anybody that they want the moment they leave the country.
Monty Crew had an extra baby so he could get a higher check. Yeah, I know he has a few kids. And I don't know if he ever got that check processed or not. So
Well, that's different. I got 4 kids and still working. Yeah, of course, that's different. If you're still earning a living, but you were talking about the retired guys again taking advantage of the system.
it was it it's it's not a it is what do we call that when we give a don't put the helmet on for life situation. It's kind of the same for him. He knew he didn't have more than a few years. And like Elliot Eastman, he predicted 2 weeks before he went on about the exact subject. And we're not just talking about creepy like. It's like he knew maybe he'd already had a mini stroke at that point. I don't know. I'm just putting some stuff. A lot of people said his last few videos seemed like he knew his health is deteriorating. And if you feel that way, like there are people that know they don't have much longer to live. And so they there's just some aura or something. He knew it. There was something up and
No,
he
he knew it
knew
was coming.
whether she knew it.
You know your own body, but most of the time, guys don't talk. Say,
I think there's
yeah.
aura like Elliot Eastman, although there might have been other things going on. He must have seen his demise in a dream, or I'm one of those people that something had to come up, but something did. He knew and he had full conversations. Now, whether it was just based on getting more views in regards to, let me talk about a subject with these guys, it could have been he was addressing the trolls, and the other he could have been addressing world zoom in. I can have a kid over an age and there's nothing wrong, and Jen wanted a baby, I wanted a baby, we're so happy we're going to have a baby, and that's the way it is. Who's he trying to convince? A social security office or something, or other people? Was he really it seemed like a lot of his videos at that point were directed at people that, hey, I'm doing the right thing. Who is he really trying to convince? Like, what's going on in this new video with Jen on her channel? Is that what she's trying to really hard, is so to shut people down? Or it doesn't wipe all the other stuff out that he put out as facts. But the collecting and having a kid, he rolled the dice on him. He could have been sick. And she can say, oh, well, he's perfect and all this and that. There's a big chance he could have had some serious issues. He already
No,
has a disabled daughter.
well, like I
Okay,
said,
so
yeah.
it was really, so she also knew that his gene pool, I would say, was shallow, but something happened. Taking offense at that point. But I'm gonna tell you what, if I knew George had a child that had some issues like that, I'd have had to skip that one. Could it have been the mother? Yes. But could it have been the dad? Yes. And then I had to calculate your age, and it's like, let's see, $600 a month, and yeah, okay, I've already been here, here, and there, and I've got this and that. And well, I don't know. Was he going to be around? Oh, yeah, yeah. I absolutely love him. Yep, let's have that baby. I need somebody when he's gone.
I should still be shooting good. I mean, I'm not that old.
Well, get out there. I need some house cleaners.
I mean, seriously, I'm still a viable donor, as it were.
So was Mark and Monty and old
No,
dog.
that's a big age difference now. That's what I'm getting at.
There's some old guys here. What about Al Pacino?
That's what I'm saying. There's a big age
What
gap
about Eddie
there.
Murphy?
Guys, I'm only 50. I mean,
You're old.
I get I'm old, but I'm still in the viable gene pool. I mean, gee, when it crickets. I'm not picking
Hey,
on the older gentlemen, but I mean,
yeah.
at my age, I don't
Face
think I should be having kids. Honestly, I'm going to tell you that right
face
now. At
down.
my age, I don't think I should be having kids.
Wouldn't
Much
it be
less anybody
scary?
older. That's what I'm saying.
It's one thing, like we discussed. We have a couple of the God kids here, and there's another one coming in July, and it's a younger girl. I said this one's probably going to sucker us into a lot of babysitting, but it's like, it's fun, it's whatever, but you can still return them. It's like go back like grandkids thing. But yes, to start over again. But a lot of guys know that they have a Filipina. A lot of them aren't working that they're with. Some are working. I'm not saying that they're not. So at least they have where they actually can stay at home. In the US, you can't do that. A lot of this stuff is, oh, the American woman or the Canadian woman, all this, they don't take care and they don't want to take care. No, it's because, honey, it's called we had to work alongside our man. And we busted our chops too alongside. We had to work when we were taking care of our kids. We get it, the arrangements, all these things that had to be done. But here they can actually do it. And it's at that point, the guy's really not taking care of it. It sure seemed funny how some of these guys that I see doing vlogs say, oh, I help with this and I do that and I help change diapers and I stay up for days. Could it have been? Or are they just saying that, for, I don't know.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder on, could you really picture all of that going on?
Yeah.
Okay. I've never, a lot of guys, did you do all that when you were younger? You got up day and night, did the diapers, the bottles, went and picked up diapers and food. Was you a hands-on parent?
Yeah.
Okay. Along with working?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're special.
I've always worked. What are you talking about?
No, I'm just saying both. That was nothing at your. I'm saying at the same time. I talk about like the weekends and stuff. I'm not referring to not.
Anyway,
That's not what the reference was to. It was to reference. Was it on? Did you get home late at night and then go back out?
Okay, I'm not so wasn't never a single parent, but anyway. Joseph Relaford says my father was 52 when he had me, George. Yeah, again, nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, me, George. I said my donation as far as my gene pool goes is still fine. As you say, Joseph, I've met Joseph personally, guys. Again, great guy, very funny guy. But what I'm saying, see, he turned out right. And again, I know I can still go out and donate my gene pool, and the child will be okay. But personally, me, I don't think I should be having any more kids. One, my age, because
you wouldn't at least see him out of high school, so you knew he was on his own, which means you would want to start in your 40s latest.
Personally.
I get that I didn't take a lot of responsibilities. I thought about that when I had kids. It was like I was in love, and it's like, I was not responsible. I'm just gonna, I didn't have college funds set aside. I didn't have a ton of money. It's like just rolling like a lot of people do. Not all, but in other words, not prepared. So I get not planning. But if it comes down to where it affects the baby's health, leaving them behind it at early age, we're just not talking about a sudden illness or an accident. We're talking specifically that it could happen. And he knew that. He just didn't expect, any of them expect to go that soon. So
Yeah. Tony Manning says the interview was on Mark's channel and says she's keeping his channel up. CBGB says MR was a tireless producer of garbage, misinformation, and baseless information.
I would be curious. So it was on his channel. So then that means he must have arranged
Or to
to
have
add
access.
her as access
Yeah.
to do all the uploads with him being deceased, and that was all in the estate papers. And I don't even know how that would work.
Right.
Interesting,
Right.
because it's a different factor when that happens. So
CBGB says Tony, she was crying about Mark's
because she has her own
haters.
You can keep it on.
Right.
You can keep the channel on, and even then they're supposed to report it, and it depends on situations. I did read up on some that when we did the last live stream, but I didn't know that she was uploading on his channel. Authorized user maybe, or it's one thing if she appeared on his channel and then he's the one that did all the uploads and all those things, but gone and then uploading. There's all kinds of legalities to that. Everything you upload on YouTube is a legality.
Yeah, and the end user license agreement.
All of these, or the payment and everything. We get that it's going somewhere else. You can arrange it with death certificates, but I don't know how that works.
We don't know the legality in when somebody passes.
Interesting.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it was all in the paperwork and he added her beforehand, just because, estate stuff there, it's not a, hey, this is mine, and you clear out the bank accounts and take off with the cars and everything else.
Hijacking is one thing, and owning it is another.
Right, and it's new, so there couldn't have been anything filed yet. She doesn't even have a death certificate and uploading to the channel. Yeah. So to me, that's kind of, I don't know why. Well, I get now why. It would make sense because there's more subscribers and more.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
So, we understand that part of it. So
easier to get a pre-set up channel.
Well, just it's his subscribers, but a lot of his were hers, and maybe more to access.
CBGB says MT did his bit to take down the reputation of all foreigners in the Philippines. Yes, he remains an influencer from the great beyond. Cindy G says, I hear all the insults again, us American women, without any of them understanding our hardworking lifestyle.
I've said that before. It's offended a lot of people in the beginning, still does. When I say that, you will hear the fight back and forth, the Filipina piece, some of the other bigger vloggers that'll say Western women this, Western women. And I agree on some of the stuff she has said or the others have said. But for the most part, the guys say I had to get away from the West. So it's like, well, the toxicity and bad women are here too. Oh, well, this and that. She took half my stuff in the divorce, this and that. And I get there are bad marriages that can happen on both sides. But understand that, there are two sides to what happened. And she usually worked alongside. Not all these guys leave out on the best intentions. Soon as they kids graduate, they're out of there. But who knows what happens all the way around? There's always something. But I get so tired of where there's just a direct blame for one side, like, oh, she's just an absolute bad Filipina and bad wife because she's Filipina, or she's just a bad, American because of this, and that. It's like, really, that one universe, one situation, that all this person is that and all, like stereotyping all the way around. It can happen anywhere. And if people pre the internet that only live vicariously through the internet would have traveled and known, then they would know. But it does happen.
Thank you so much, Chris Monks. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, puppy.
CBGB is being sarcastic here by saying thank you, Mark.
There's a lot to learn. If there's anything that there's to learn, is there's a lot to be learned.
Tony says she was saying that he was so organized and had everything mostly paid for, even the hospital bills.
Really?
Well, actually, that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
In his personal profile, that does fall in place. Super, super organized. Everything filed neatly, if or else
Yeah, he
kind of
seemed
deal.
like that type of
He is
person.
that type, and
I mean, that's not going to feed the kid or anything. I mean, some organizations are
well,
better
I'm
than
just
none. We
saying
did say
I can
prepare in
see that.
advance.
That's
Yeah.
something I don't doubt.
Is
Yeah.
that all she talked about on there? Was his organization or being organized for it? So I would check it out later.
Yeah.
Because that I mean, I get that, but if you're not in the best financial way, or there's so much actually to it. But I'm sure it was very rough. I mean, it's just she's really young, and it's. I mean, at least the other kids did he get to know his dad? Yes, but not really. There's besides his videos and all of that, then he'll be able to see him on there, and that's a good thing. That is a legacy part of it, is he'll be able to watch those videos. Hey,
yeah.
but
Yeah. Harry Walsh says Mark had a folder with all the documents in order. He kept it where she knew in case of emergency, this is what you need if I get sick. There you go.
all right, so maybe that's where all the passwords were for the channel, and all these things were set up for where she could have access. So I just hope she takes care to make sure she knows all the other legalities, if there are any. It
Yeah.
just seems still odd that she wouldn't have uploaded it on her own channel. I know you can buy channels 100% if the names are added. I don't think you inherit literally a channel based on just marriage. So that's the other part. I don't know. Could be wrong.
Yeah, we're not sure of the legalities on
Again, topic of
somebody passing
conversation.
away.
It's in these are just what ifs a lot of time. It's
But
just
it's not automatic. It's not
no,
automatic.
It
It
are
doesn't mean,
settings,
for
there
example,
are.
if I pass away, it's not automatic Heidi gets the channel. That's not how it works. It is still a legal business that needs to be transferred over.
And you're not going to see me doing the uploading when it is legally his channel. So I would not take that risk to
Right.
sit there and keep
I mean,
uploading
there
and
are
money.
we do have literally physical documents.
But it would be the same as, as I'm to understand, could be wrong. The money was going to the U.S. into another bank account and all that. I don't
That's
know
another thing.
So the
The
money will
money's going to
continue.
his bank account now. Whether or not she has access to it, it's still not, even that is not automatically passed on to her on his demise.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different stages. They can't say, oh, vote, and then it's all done. There's got to be the end user agreement when you signed up for your channel. There's all kinds of things. You can make somebody admin through AdSense, things through YouTube to an extent to close the channel down or to keep it going. It doesn't mean automatically that. I don't think that has anything to do with uploading to the channel.
Well, like we said again, it's more than just the channel itself, because the channel is connected to a bank account, and that bank account, I'm pretty sure, is
Which is
under
with the estate.
just his name, not hers.
You still got to process an estate,
That
even
kind of
if
deal.
your husband passes away. It's not an automatic.
And remember, again,
he has other children. He has other children too, so
correct.
she just can't seize
It's
and
not
say, "Hey, I'm
automatically
living here."
hers either. Correct.
I mean, if she was like working a job, or like her account was going in and it was a dual, I could see taking out your money during that estate situation.
Yeah.
But you just can't start.
Next of kin is not just her.
Correct. He has other children.
Correct. So remember, same thing with the channel. If you're
And brothers and his mother. You forget
it's not
that
just
it's
her. Now, will she, in probability, just
receive it?
Yeah, because only by default. Again, I don't know their relationships, but what I'm saying is, guys, it's not automatically
This is
hers.
this
And
is
I'm
for
not picking on her.
anybody running.
We're
There
talking
are other
on a legal
YouTubers.
basis.
There are other YouTubers that
Same
are
thing-
married with checks coming in and
with
children.
me, if I pass
and
away, it's not automatic Heidi gets it. There is next of kin.
Well, we got Baby May and Old Dog. I mean, is she going to start uploading things on his channel? And
She
how
has her own
legal is that?
channel. I'm not too.
Well, I'm
Baby
just
May,
giving an example.
her channel's well and going, so that's kind of like not a good
I'd
example.
be interested now. So just out of
Yeah. But
who's
again, a lot
giving
of
her all
people
the
forget
advice,
that
and
there's legalities behind this. There's paperwork behind this.
that means there's some expats behind her, what's going on or who's
Right.
advising her. I just hope it's good advice and that she's not listening to just them, that she's getting other legal advice. Don't fall, I hate to say it, here we go, guys. Don't fall into that man trap again. I would definitely be
Right.
getting
I
expat
mean, it's easy to
attorneys or,
say,
Filipino attorneys that do expat stuff and all into the realm of, you know, there's a lot to process. So I understand she's going through a lot, but evidently she's definitely pulled herself together and made the decision on her own to upload, footage to her husband's, account. But I would have done it on Facebook. I would have done it on my own channel. So, which,
right. No. Again, there's a lot of legalities that people aren't aware of, and we're just making aware that, again, there's something beyond what you see on the camera. Um. Oh, dang. Greg is the new Thornton spokesman and acting coach for Jen.
who's that?
Greg. I think that's the guy that was there. I think. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
Jeffrey
Is
Wilson.
that his brother?
I don't know. Probably. Could you imagine if those Beanie Babies were full of jewels and gold? Ooh, psych. Right? Right? That's where the hidden wealth is. It's all like $100 bills, like, in big giant thick rolls inside one of them. All of them, rather.
What was the yes thing about a few minutes ago? Was that in regards to the trying to find it here?
Yeah. Dennison says it was somewhat common in the military back in my day when I was in the military. Guys getting ready to retire, close to 30 years, and most were Thai and Filipino women. Most 20-year age gap. Thus happened on my first Westpac. Had 6 guys get married in my division. Granted, same as was a second marriage.
Oh, it said, yes, a surviving spouse can inherit a YouTube channel, huh? If the deceased user's account is managed through Google's inactive manager. Well, no, it says that. But I don't know. So then maybe he did do that. No, I'm aware of that part of it. So, but I don't think that's what it means. It says that, so you must have Googled that. So when I looked further into that, that's either to shut the channel down or just to leave it running. I don't know if it meant to legally inherit. It didn't say that part of it. It's either to go ahead and close it, or it means to leave it open for it just to run. But then comes in AdSense, which you do not.
Right. That's
a total
that's a
detached
weird
thing.
thing.
The money is lost. It's not
The
lost,
channel's
but
a
it's closed.
channel. The money is a separate entity.
And she has to send all the paperwork. That's not automatic. So she's already taken control of
Right.
the channel and done something before the legal documents are in. Therefore, it puts her into another legal situation. So you have to put in and I know she doesn't have the death certificate. There is no fast processing in the Philippines. So death certificate, and she submits it, and it says right at the bottom, go read it, PH Prepper, that in a case like that, it is still up to Google if they can close that channel or not. That's not a guarantee because it was inherited. It's always up to Google. So it did say that part I've seen about the inactive. Why? Because we've looked into it. So in case George falls down the stairs at 3 o'clock next Wednesday.
Okay. Joyce Slipper says,
and I'm just,
Jen looked like a teen married to a grandfather. Tony Manning says the guy that was doing the interview with her will probably be the next husband.
Maybe. It could have been her brother, or Mark's brother. Maybe
CBGB says Greg is married to Wilma.
Oh, okay. Have no idea who that is.
Could Mark have set up a will, trust, or living will for his family? Is there something similar to Philippines comparable to?
There is.
All of this exists. All of this exists.
So it's possible that he did.
It's possible that he did.
But nothing is automatic. Do you realize how long it takes to go through estates? I've been through that process, and it's the same here in the Philippines.
Yeah, well, Heidi's saying even if it does exist, which to be honest with you, I can see him doing that.
Okay, well, if he did, there's only X amount or so much she can do, but she's supposed to wait for the processing of the estate. You can't start selling things, doing things, and there's all kinds of stuff to the estate. So
Joyce Slipper says, time for Jen to find someone her own age. Tony
she
Manning
might.
says,
It's
that's where the money is for the cruise ship is the Beanie Baby.
might be surprised on some of those. Yeah. They're friends of his. Okay. Well, we knew there were some. They said there were a few people over there, had no idea that might be paying the bills or helping or something. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of people over in Dumageddon.
FX Trader says, I saw Mark's wife, Jen, in some guy's video, and I felt bad for her. She's going to be grieving for a while, for sure.
It's a possibility, yes. And that's understandable.
How many people here have their living wills sorted? My husband and I do.
Correct. Yep.
That's true.
Yep. Yeah, and you should have something set up, even if you don't really have an estate. That is for sure. There are still items and stuff. I will be inheriting George's PlayStation 5. The channel, that's it. I'm just a prop here, but there's no way. So yes, if something, that's one question you guys never asked. Would I sit here on the side if something happened to George? No, you've seen individual videos, but I would not continue and leave it and then sit there and post all the time without him. We do a few when he's like I do when I'm working, or like he did the funerals or different things, but I would not just take over even if it was all arrangeable. So the channel would actually die with George. I would not actually, it would just seem really weird I get that people put in work and everything else, just
there's
to keep
always
it,
a taxidermy option.
or put you in that table, that resin table. Yeah. So, yeah. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. We're 3 hours in, and it is time for manja. So,
manja,
mashed potatoes and barbecue pulled pork, and
it's so good. It's
your butter, honey,
good.
corn, and we have the berry cake.
Mashed potatoes. Oh my gosh! Thank you so much.
It's time to eat and time to.
Thank you so much,
more
again, guys. We love you all. Thank you so much, Ted, again.
A lot to process, but it looks like we're doing that Social
Christmas
Security
gifts.
and
Sarah Tyson for your Christmas gifts. Victoria also for your Christmas gifts.
You know who might know that? Our manager might know exactly. Maybe I can get her to word that out for me if something happens to you.
Who's obviously real. Yeah,
what
we might
exactly would be the legality of Yeah. So she would know. So I'm gonna try to find that out.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it so much.
I just thought about that, so I'd be curious if she's getting advice from whoever this guy is or the friends. Or I was thinking it was what's her name's her sister's husband that was the one you guys were talking about. I don't even remember. I know that her sister's husband appeared on the show after the fight, but I don't remember what his name is.
Cindy G. Merry Christmas to all.
But I would just hope that she's not. Hey, remember, at the end of the day, check your own crap out. Don't listen to us, the next person, or whatever, and then live by it Bible. You guys need to. We've always said, watch multiple channels and hire that attorney. You guys thought it was a joke.
Merry Christmas to you guys. Happy Merry Christmas to you. Oh, Ted is still with us. Merry Christmas. Beautiful people. Thanks for your stream. Great job. Thank you so much, Ed. Appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to Michael J.
Thank you.
Pablo Chicano and B. Chris Monks. Thank you so much, guys.
D-Man, CBGB in the house. Ruby, PH Expat Prepper. Barry and the PI was in the house. Good morning. Chosen one, thank you. I'll be waiting for my Christmas gift, you mofo.
Whoa. It's just whoa, shots fired. He's probably not in the room anymore. He's probably out.
Hey, we got your chocolate beer. Don't forget about your chocolate beer.
Hey, McLovin was with us.
McLovin?
Yeah, McLovin is with us.
McLovin.
Yeah, McLovin.
Pablo
Yeah. American Pie, McLovin.
Bruce
Jose Rodriguez, Merry Christmas. Stay safe for the holidays.
Max,
thanks so much.
Thank you, guys. And we'll see you in a few days, I think. Let's see. I don't even know.
We'll see you next year. I'm joking. It's not going to be that long.
Maybe. Huh? You might be laid out for a week.
All right.
Love
Thank you guys. Thanks so much.
Bye. Happy holidays. Bye, guys.